back to Hands Oval, where it is starting to get very dark and very blowy, John. There's a fair bit of weather just coming in. Let's have a look at some of the matchups for today's big clash. And thanks to Southern Lock and Security, that's going to be crucial, isn't it, for the coaches to get it right. Both these sides have some star players. I don't think they'll go one-on-one with too many, but a couple of matchups that you can see throughout this afternoon for Southern Lock and Security.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know that either of them will go like a defensive with tags and things like that. I think they just got to. The conditions makes it hard anyway, so I think you're better off just let it roll out and see how it pans out, and adjust it on the run. So I think back end, Mulholland will play on. What's his name now? Blaine Johnson. Baker probably take Horsman if he starts forward. That'll be an interesting matchup. I've seen last week, it took half a game before South made the move to put him back to full back on Joel Horton, and it sort of dried up Bunbury scoring opportunities. So it'll be interesting to see. Ryan King was named. He's not playing, we just found out. So Carey Park probably don't have the big key as such up forward. They rely on a couple of their guys to hit the scoreboard. Young Hughes, a few of the smaller players. DeLello, he's been quite handy, but he's moved up to the midfield. So it'll be interesting to see where their goals come from. That could be their problem. But as I said, I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals kicked in these conditions anyway. So I think on the run we may see some moves at different times, but to go out now and say they're going to have 5 or 6 matchups each, I don't think that'll happen.
No, I totally agree with you. Umpires for today's game in the field: Braden Surrell, Damien O'Donoghue, Talon Guthrie. In the boundary, Emma Hutchison, Matthew Harris and Darnella Showman. And in the goals, Marty Thompson and Katrina Edwards. A couple of big ins for South Bunbury though. Jace Cormack returns to the game after quite a few weeks out with a leg injury. Good to see him back. He's a star, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's suffering the old man's injuries. He must be trying to tell him something, the old calf. So he's back in today, which they'll look to use his outside speed. He's been a great player for a long time, and he's a dangerous player because he gets forward and kicks goals. So they'll be happy to have him back. Again, it just adds to their pace. But again, it'll be more of a workman type day today.
A big in too, and very big congratulations to Tom Gorder. He had a little bubba.
Yes, they told me last week.
Zeb, so congratulations to him and his partner, of course. And he'll be back. Be excited to get back into this lineup. They missed him a bit last week, did the South?
Yeah, you're right there. Just a direction coming off half back. Yeah, they really did miss that. There was a lot of balls that were just bombed around, and when you got someone there to give you a direction, it makes a big difference. And saying that, I just had a message, so big cheerio to our own Jesse Crichton. He's sitting over in Melbourne. He's enjoying his lap around Australia this year. So, Crichton, have fun, mate, and hope you enjoy the coverage today.
I'm sure he will. Feed up. Good day, Crichton. Looking at the Carey Park side, Jackson Bell, we spoke to him. He's turned into a magnificent leader, hasn't he, young Belly? From the young bloke he used to be to where he's got to is a great effort. Yeah,
he plays across halfback now, reads the ball very well, always puts his head over the ball, backs back with the flight of the ball. Courageous, sometimes silly courageous, but at the end of the day, you know what you're going to get from him, and he's another guy that sets his team up pretty well. Just a level head now. He uses the ball very well. So he'll be important for them today.
Interesting, Bill Brown played in the twos, John.
Yeah, last couple of weeks, so I don't know what's going on there, but maybe they're just looking at the dynamic of their setup. So, it was interesting because they don't have a lot of overall height, so flexibility becomes a problem if you do have to make a couple of moves when you take a player like that out, because he can play forward, he can play back, and we've seen him do a fairly handy job in the ruck as well. So obviously they've got their reasons, so we'll see what happens.
And congratulations go out to Jack Wright too, the South Bunbury backman, plays his 50th game for this afternoon. Of course, Lee Wright played a lot of footy at South and coached at Carey Park, I think, John?
Yes, he did. Played under him for a year. He was also president here for a couple of years at South Bunbury, so he's done a fair bit.
No doubt he'll be sitting up on the veranda overwatching the young fella.
Yeah, it's always a good effort when the guys meet these milestones, whether it's 50, 100, 150, whatever it is, 200. I think last week we had Liam Stewart played 200 for Carey Park, so it takes a lot of effort, a lot of training nights and all the rest of it. You cop a few whacks along the way, and to keep going and pull your jumper on every week. I think everyone should be congratulated on that.
What about the ruck duel, John? Horsman had to go back last week with Crosman and Gorda missing. They could well move into the ruck for South. They used young Pedley a little bit, and then they pinched hit with Chitty. Who will go up against them in the Carey Park ruck division?
Well, Morris was very good against Fletcher. I mean, he battled manfully. It wasn't an easy task because he's obviously a lot lighter framed. I seen Pedley last week the first time. I'm not sure if he's out there today, but he's tall, he's wiry, so the two of them match up very similar. So that could be an interesting battle. I think I've liked what I've seen from Morris around the ground. I remember watching the game over at Payne Park, and he actually gave him a real good presence around the ground, a good target on kick-outs and down the line sort of stuff. So if he can bring that form today, he could cause a few headaches, because South sort of didn't sub him out, but Pedley only played the first half last week, obviously conditions and all that. So if Morris can get around the ground, he could really go a long way towards getting control of the air in this game.
South Bunbury have won the toss, and they'll be kicking to the scoreboard on to end the hands oval, which we think might have a little bit of advantage. It's going to be a pretty swirling wind this afternoon. I don't think it's going to make a hell of a difference. I think it'll just be how the sides go about it. But off to a good start would be pretty handy. Yeah,
you want to get out of the blocks pretty quick, and as you said, looking around, there's no soccer here, but the trees, one tree's blowing one way, one tree's blowing another, and it's more or less across the ground. If the ball gets up high, I wouldn't like to be camped underneath it, because until it hits the deck, you're not going to know where it's going to land.
We're looking for a CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day today, John. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a bit tricky out there to take the hanger.
I think if someone takes a chest mark, they'll probably pull the prize off, let alone warrant something above your head. But, if you're watching at home, we're making it sound pretty bad. I think it's going to come in. It's looking around, the clouds are rolling in. I don't know if Dean got a shot of it all, but it's a true winter's day. Probably not as much rain as what we could get, but with the wind, normally you either get the wind or rain, not both. But today, if we get rain, we're going to have the boys out there are going to be chasing around. A ball's going to roll and tumble and whatever. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be hard to call, because there's going to be some rolling scrums, I'd say. That's all right, John. That's why you're the expert here, mate. Thanks to MGIB for your support. Like a good neighbour, MGIB is here. We're not very far away from a start. Two arch rivals, these ones. They're both sides that have been going head-to-head for a long period of time in the southwest, and this will be no exception. Pedley will start in the ruck for South Bunbury, and I see young Wright has come to the Harvey Norman interchange bench along with Jones and Jack Gallagher. Umpire beholds the ball aloft. This is SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta. We're away. Pedley and Jones got South Bunbury Piggott. Crane's in it. He's taken high. I guess one way or the other. Can't be wrapped up. Pedley over the footy. He tries to squeeze a handball out. Does so to young Riley. He's over the top to Bain. He flicks it wide to Cormac. He's well wrapped up by O'Brien. The loose ball's gone wide, and Cormac's going to get a kick. Bit lucky there, but anyway, you take them when you can. Very good. We said before the game, very good inclusion, Jace Cormac. Yep, he's gone short. That's not 15 players. Go very short. Yeah, very short. Riley's booted that ball deep into attack. Out there, handball from Johnson, gives it to Nordell. Luckily there's a good sweeping hands up in the air from young Harrop. The ball's gone through for a minor score, and South Bunbury hit the scoreboard, and they're one behind, leading Carey Park yet to score. They look up and about. I was a bit concerned last week when South come on the ground. They just didn't look a united unit, but today a completely different unit. Certainly are. So Delilio, he's taken high play on the call, is it? No, he's been rewarded. He's been in good form too, Delilio. He has been very good since he's come into the midfield. So just a heap of players in front. What's he going to do? He's going to go short and wide out to Milham, I think it is, on that far side. So right out, almost true wing position. He chips back inside towards the player there in Jackson Bell, a true half-back. He comes inside there to Mulholland, just inside the centre square. So they're trying to be patient and just use his footy in 30-metre hits. He goes back inside almost to the middle of the ground. Is that young Milham again? I think it is. What's he got on offer? Straight to the true centre forward. Verhaft leads up, but Horsman drops in and takes an easy uncontested mark. Right at true centre halfback, he handballs that ball to the player there to run off from Galloway. He drives it far and wide. South have got the numbers. Riley's going to win the race of the footy. He stops, he props. He's about 70 from his own goal. He goes onto that left foot, comes back inside. Miss hits. Pick up there by the player there in Bourne. He goes one way, goes the other, onto the boot. What way is it going to bounce? He's going to bounce straight through the middle of the goals, Croney. So that's the first one on the board.
Richie Bourne,
he notches up number one. So South, very handy goal there. Moved to 1-1-7. A lead Carey Park 0. And we've been playing about 5 minutes.
Yeah, Richie Bourne, he does it. He was very crook last week, and he had a couple of shots per goal, but he started the game off very well. Look, he uses the ball well, doesn't he? I was just watching for one of the Southern Lachlan Security matchups. Interesting, Horsman's gone back to Verhalf at that centre-half back line. So that's an interesting move by the coaches.
Yeah.
In fact, he's going further back now. So, but that's a good start by South. They do look up and about. As I said, we were a bit critical last week, and they've definitely changed that around.
Yeah, there's. I mean, Bourne obviously doesn't need a lot of room there. He only had 2 steps. He spun. His awareness is quite good to where the goal was, and he actually made it look easy in them conditions. So back to the middle of the ground. Pedley goes early. He gets the ball out of the air, whacks it onto the right boot, tumbles towards half forward. Number of players under it. No one can get the clean ball. Milham goes in. He's wrapped up. I think we're going to have stacks on here, are we? Yep. We're going to have a ball up. Almost at true centre half forward for South Bunbury, going into attack again. Up they go. Pedley, he wins the knockdown. Rory O'Brien takes quick hands out. He gives it to Kelvin Lawrence. He's given the ball back, and that was a good tackle on Harry Jones. It was. He was wrapped up almost in the middle of the ground.
Bunbury Mower service tackle of the day already.
Yeah, it was a good tackle
by young Pickett.
Up they go again. Ruckman at it. Pedley over the top. Piggott, he's pushed, is he? Yep, he's pushed from behind. He's reciprocated free kick, almost in the middle of the ground, Croney, and it's a little bit stagnant there. But as we said, the conditions, it's not going to be easy to move this ball with any fluency. So he wheels out to the right-hand side. He kicks out towards the scoreboard. Oh, up and over was Orsi, was it? He's lucky not to give away a free kick. That had to be a free kick, didn't it, if you don't touch the footy? Anyway, Carey Park.
Just giving me for effort, I think, John.
It certainly was. Jackson Bell drives that ball far out to that wing, and a good mark taken out there by Lanigan. He's back on track, so he wheels on that far wing, comes down to half forward. He goes down there to Milham, is it? He couldn't take the mark. It was Orsi. He's at half forward. The ball's taken away from South Bunbury, rolls out of bounds again on that far side in front of Cormac. The boundary umpire's going to throw it in. 1-1-7 South. Lead Carey Park yet to hit the scoreboard. We've been playing about 4.5 minutes. Seems to be playing a bit longer than that. Maybe the wind's blowing everything around.
Yeah, make hay while the sun shines, I think, John.
So this time, the Carey Park ruckman there in Jones, he wins the knock, comes over the back, foot race on. Rory O'Brien, he's taken a bit high, ridden into the ground, right almost in the centre of the oval, and the umpire says give it here. He's probably a bit unlucky there. He could have, Sawyer wrapped him up but carried him forward. But we'll have a ball up. Jones and Pedley. Pedley this time. Baines taken without the footy. Play on's the call. Picked up there by Piggott. And we've got a whistle now. He's brought it back, and it's going to be a free kick to Crane for a high tackle. So South Bunbury will drive back into attack, you'd think.
Yeah, at least they're presenting a few options going forward to South Bunbury this week.
So he just chips forward, hits in the man of the mark. Kelvin Lawrence going to pick up the ball in the middle of the round. He goes one way, the other, puts his teammate Jones under all sorts of pressure. A quick kick, but there is Tommy Goyder at centre back. He wheels onto this left foot, comes top side, puts the ball in front of Nordell. He meets it, he couldn't take it on full. Rory O'Brien comes, he goes one way, the other, he's wrapped up. Handball backwards to Mulholland. He gives a cheeky one back to O'Brien. He's taken high on the flick out. Wrapped up there is young Baker. Real good tackle there in the South Bunbury player in lane. So we'll have a ball up at high half forward for South Bunbury. They've got the ball in the right spot on this top side. So the wind behind it, and they're on the right top flank. So the ruckman again. Kelvin Lawrence is going to know. Blake Pickett picks it up. Drives it towards Crane. No one can pick it up. Number of players around it. In there, willingly goes the player there in young Delello, I think it was. Is he going to get a free kick? Yep. He's 3 foot high at the best of times. He went in low, so it was almost impossible to tackle him. But he put his head over the footy and he's got the kick at half back. He comes
the way
out
to
the
do
line
it
to
in days like
Zahaf.
today.
He's got the size over Blake Pickett and takes pretty much an uncontested mark right in front of his coach's box. He just chips over the top, but easily coming in there for South Bunbury was a player there in Galloway. He on his left boot kicks it wide. It's going out there towards Chitty, but in front there was Baker. He's Jones. His arms were chopped. Play on's a call. All players are willing in that. Right up against the boundary. We'll have a ball in. Again,
those matchups for Southern Lock and Security. Horsman's actually gone on to Lannigan now, John. So interesting matchup.
If Lannigan gets on the bike, he can be dangerous, but he can also just switch off. So
that puts Gorder onto Verhalf.
Yeah, so that would be probably the matchup that South would want. Bell picks it up. He drives the ball up to the wing. Young Tetlow, conditions should suit him today. He can't take it, but in the middle of the ground we've got a number of South players. Cormac taps it back, but running through and taken without the footy was young Harry Jones. Just get the ball, son. He's right on the point of the centre square. He's drive his side into attack. He's got Milham out here in front of us, all unattended, but he drives that ball forward. Oh, great body strength and a real play on's a call. Well, I don't know what happened there, but Orsi handballs to Milham. He's 48 metres out, drives to the top of the square. It's all South Bunbury, and uncontested back there is Riley. He takes a mark, drives onto the far side now. On defensive flank is Crane. He's got a paddock. He's got O'Brien chasing him, so not a lot of pace out there, Craney, between the two of them. Anyway, South had the weight of numbers.
Around the footy field
they
for
certainly
a while,
have. South go forward. Waldrop, he's got the ball on that defensive wing. Chips inside. Good spoil there from Delallo. Was it a whistle? No, everyone sort of stopped and looked. Now it's gone out of bounds. Didn't know what happened now. I just stopped myself and have a look. So
a few games between Crane and O'Brien.
It was almost like a gopher race out there. Better not tell them that afterwards.
Oh, they listen.
Right on the far side, smack bang, a true wing position. The umpire throws it in. Ruckman at it. Pedley takes front position, whacks up down the line through the legs of Bell. Now South have the numbers. Good pick up there from Crane. Feeds his teammate there, but he couldn't take it. Oh, well done there by Calvin Lawrence. Spins one way, the other. Good pick up from Carey Park. Harrop, he gives it back to Lawrence. He just hacks that ball forward. Who's going to win the race this time? Lannigan, go two hands, son. Over the ball is Goiter, is it? He's taken in the back. Play on's the call. He's going to be pinged for dropping the ball, but he should have got a kick for pushing the back. But anyway.
I think he sort of dragged himself under. That's why the umpire said no.
Yeah, but now a 50-metre penalty, is it?
Oh, he can't afford to do that.
No, not when you've had all the play and you're going to give them a good look here. They're going to kick it probably from the top of the goal.
You've done a lot of coaching, as I've done. I used to hate that. Used to hate giving an inch to a side without letting the side put it under their wing and then move up 50 metres. And players go, what did I do? I only did this. Well,
they
that's exactly.
They know exactly what they've done, but they come to the bench with an excuse.
Yeah, and
blame everyone else. And well, he's right on top of the. Well, he's not. He's 18 metres out, directly in front. He would have been 2 kicks from home, but now this is a soda, you would think. So Brody Lannigan, he comes in. Can he draw within back to a point? He can. That's a good-looking kick straight over the goal umpire's head. So Carey Park moved to 1 straight 6. They trail South Bunbury 1-1-7. And we've been playing about almost 10 minutes into the first quarter.
Must be a backman's nightmare too. You're playing on a player and holding him out, and then he gets 50 metres given away to him. Yeah. And then just scored straight onto him.
My monitor's a bit slower than that other one, so we've been playing a bit longer than that. But, it's probably South a little bit unlucky. I suppose it's a 50-50 free kick. You want them to go your way. It went the other way. I'm not sure if it was a bit of abuse or...
But even if it does, I mean, you still got to wear that and keep going with it.
And it wasn't like he was going to kick a goal from where he was. They still needed a lot of luck going forward.
Interesting spectator just in front of us too. West Coast Eagles legend Adam Hunter, so enjoying the game.
I believe he had another run around in the twos or this morning.
No, I think he's still come back after injury, but...
It's good to see him still having a kick, Craney.
I wish absolutely. We could be out there. Yeah. Although days like this, it's quite nice just sitting there, John.
Yeah, we're here. So Ruckman at it. They all miss it. No one's in there. Pedley goes and picks up a loose ball. Good handball. What's he paid? A throw, is it? Well, interesting. But anyway, you got to take him when you can get him, as we said. Whose kick is it? Tetlow. I like him, Craney. The other week we had a good look at him.
Yeah, look, he did move well.
Yep.
Lawrence is up and about today
he's,
too.
Horrible kick up and under. Get under that, boys. South come in with a fist. Goiter goes one way. Handball's wide there to Sawyer. He drives that out to the far wing. Well done. Almost a good mark there to Payne, but him and Waldrop race back. Payne's first back to it. South have the numbers here. Who's going to pick it up? Riley. He goes one way the other. On the left boot. Drives that far wide and long into the Blaine Johnson direction. He's double teamed. That should have been a free kick, and it was. Just kept the eye on the ball there. Carey Park. Mulholland, I think, had.
We were speaking to
box seat.
Lockery Laurie before the game. We said another torp. I think he tried one there.
Yeah, the one last week, he won't get better than that. That's for sure.
That was pretty handy.
So Blaine Johnson's going to kick from about 3 metres out. He's almost directly in front. He's top side, so with his experience, he'll just sit to the left. And he set it to the right, and she just drifted, but it stayed true, Croney. Just watched the tree as the ball was in flight, and everything dropped, and the ball kept its line, and he snuck that through into the inside of the post. So South moved to 2-1 at 13. They lead Carey Park 1 straight 6, and a very handy goal there because I thought Mulholland was in the box seat to spoil that, but his teammate come from the front, and they give away an unnecessary free kick. So
that was a great strike of the ball, wasn't it, from a very experienced player. That did not deviate with the wind at all. That just shows the power it was kicked with. And isn't it great to see players just go back and kick a drop punt straight? Yeah,
he's a powerful man, and he obviously got a good leg. And you can see the distance was never going to be a problem. And it went straight, it held its line, and all the way till it hit the deck.
Cormac's come out onto this wing for South Bunbury against Harry Jones.
Yeah, I just noticed I've been chopping and changing. Great knock there, Pedley. Picked up there by the player in Bain. He drives out to the scoreboard. Who's going to win the race of the footy here? And everyone's running around it. No one actually goes to it. Mulholland picks it up. Good 25-metre handball towards Liam Stewart. He goes one way. Should have handballed inside.
Yeah,
under his left boot.
He thought about it, second-guessed himself.
And the umpire's paid deliberate. Well, we don't normally see that down here very often. But make enough noise, you can talk him into it. So out there in the fluoro boots, I'm not sure who it is. It was a good kick. He drives that right in front of the scoreboard. Oh, Johnson deep. He comes from about 4 deep. Mulholland was in front. Carey Park pick up the loose ball. Harrop, I think it was. Screws it into danger territory. Bourne just goes too easy around Lawrence. Lines up the goal, and that's gone straight through the middle. That was just way too easy there. When you're in the back line, you've got to be a bit more hungrier than that to try and defend.
It's not only that, you go back to the kick that come out of there. That was just a hope-and-see kick, and all of a sudden you put it right into the hot spot of South Bunbury. You need to have a little bit more decorum coming out there, and as you said, he stepped around him very easily. Richie Bourne, two on the trot. What's the replay tell you, John?
I think it was young Baker. He had a bit more time to get that kick. He just whacked it on the boot. It's almost like it wasn't Baker. It was number 30 who, where are we there? Young Sammy Brown. He probably had a little bit more time than he thought, and it had to go more boundary. But Lawrence had to be a lot harder on Bourne, and he should have just drilled him straight through. He had him in his sights, and he's normally a pretty good tackler, but he's just letting get him around too easy, and he paid the price. So South 3-1-19, now starting to open up a handy lead. Lead Carey Park's 1 goal straight 6. So Lawrence is held in the middle of the ground. Can he redeem himself? He's going to drive the Panthers
He's
forward.
had a pretty good start, Lawrence.
He's had a bit of the ball. So he's going to come this top side. He's called to play on.
Oh, that's not a good kick.
It's tumbled. Goiter just picks it up. He's got loose. Bourne has come up. He's taken on a true wing position. He's got runners outside. He has a bounce. He goes wider to Cormac. Jones comes towards him. He's hit him late, but play-on's the call. The ball drops short. Number of players there. No one can pick it up. Well, the South player was lucky there. He didn't drag that in. He would have been penalised. Now everyone's over it. Bourne picks up and says, get out of the way. I'm going to drive my team forward. On the left foot. Drives it up towards Horsman. Over the wall drive. Over the top it went. Picked up out there by the Carey Park players. It was a good pick-up, but it was an equally good tackle. And the players all around it now. We're going to have a ball up about 30 metres out. Almost up against the boundary in South Bunbury's right. Left forward, full forward pocket.
You wonder if that wind is having a bit of an effect on it. It's obviously carrying a bit further towards that end. South are kicking that.
Jones picks up the ball, drives towards the wing position. Horsman and Lanigan. Oh, great mark there.
That's a good mark, Horsman.
Yeah, it had to be paid.
Good day to Mr. and Mrs. Horsman too. I know they always tune in.
50 metres now. Well, as we said before, Croney, you know the rules before you start the game.
100%.
You can't move off the mark. You can't have two and one sort of pretends that he's walking away. There's a zone there, you can't get in it, so they're going to pay a price. So Ben Horsman goes to about 30 metres out, almost directly in front, and you think this would be number 4 for South Bunbury, and if Carey Park aren't careful, you think this game's getting beyond reach already. So in he comes, he'll kick from about 35 metres out, almost directly in front. He hops one way, he skips the other way, and he kicks it to the left, and it stayed left. He's run to the right, hooked it to the left. I was waiting for it to kick right and towards that pine tree.
You know, we watch AFL players, don't we? And they're drummed in. That's their full job, and they make decisions like that, and you wonder why.
Yeah, Mulholland, he went one way. He's come back out this other side. He's put Brown under all sorts of pressure. Piggott wins the race to the footy, but he's taken over the line. They had an extra out there. The kick had to be deeper over the top, and they would have been out, but sometimes you kick and you've got 2 targets, you put in between the both and no one wins out. So ball in about 45, 50 metres out. Oh, it's almost on the 50-metre arc. The young lasses come in to get the ball up in the air. So a number of ballers around the footy here. Also, Milham dives in. Get it out, son, or you're going to be penalised. He's wrapped up by Waldrot, I think it is. So we'll have a ball up.
Of course, so the hero from last week, Cade Waldrot, kicked the goal with 10 seconds to go to win the game.
Up they go again. Jones wins a knock this time. It's taken there by Bourne. He's been busy. Kicked there by Sawyer. Goes nowhere. Now Carey Park run on the footies through a player there in Hughes. He can't pick it up. No one can pick it up. Now young Hallahan, he can't take it. Stewart wraps up. I'm not sure who the South Bunbury player was there. Was it could have almost been in the back, but the umpires has give it here on a true wing position on the far side. 20 plays 6 in South Bunbury's favour. They've had a good start to the first quarter. We're ticking down towards quarter time. Player there in Galloway, he just slaps it onto the boot. Goes out towards the forward pocket for South. No one can pick it up. Now, is it Baker? He's over it.
Yeah, look, that was careless there by the Carey Park. I think it was Mulholland. Put both hands in the back.
Yeah,
the ball was ready to come back out and you just give him a shove for no particular reason.
I was actually watching where the ball was going to go to next, the next bit of play, and I missed that altogether. You've picked it up, so we're going to have a shot on goal on that far side.
Those are those little bits of discipline that you need to take out of your game.
So he's going to kick from about 49 metres out. The left foot keeps it low. That's not a bad looking kick, Craney. I tell you what, that's carried everyone. That's carried the line. Mulholland's quite tall. It's gone over top of his head. And they moved to...
That was young Jones.
Was it Jones, was it? I wasn't sure. Or was it Riley? It was one of the left footers anyway. It was a nice kick.
I'm going to give it to young Braden Jones, but that'll go down, I reckon, for the Western All-Pair Services. One of the goals of the day, I think, John.
Yeah, that was a very good kick. It was pretty much that breeze is blowing across there. He kicked from front of the scoreboard, so it went from about 49 metres, and it stayed low. It was probably only about 10 metres off the ground, and cleared fingers on the line, and a very, very good kick, that's for sure. So 4-2, 26, leads one straight 6. Very, very handy 20-point lead now to the Tigers. So can the Panthers answer back? They're getting their hands on the ball, but just their use, maybe the pressure, it's a bit too much at this stage. So Wright goes up for South Bunbury. O'Brien takes the footy for Carey Park. Tetlow it was. Through there comes Jackson Bell. He just soccers forward. Bourne runs onto a loose ball. He can't take it. Rory O'Brien goes in. He's taken high. Play on's the call. A number of players over it. He's wrapped up by Sawyer, and we're going to have a ball up almost at centre forward for Carey Park.
And we're looking for a rising star this afternoon, thanks to Hemp Brothers Western Australia, most trusted hemp-based product.
The umpire's been conned into that, Rory O'Brien.
He's been around for a while, John, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got all the tricks and he knows what he's doing, how to get a kick. He goes to about 40 metres out. Collard's in front. He goes one out. This time he's got it. That's twice now he hasn't been paid.
Gee, I thought he had nearly done enough then.
He certainly did. There's a bit of a scuffle here in front of us, Craney. Young Hughes, he's taken high. They're going in willy-nilly now. Waldrop comes over the top. Number of players in. And the umpire in control's just throwing it up. The other umpire saying, boys, don't throw too many because I'm going to put you in the book. Handball from O'Brien. Milham's kick smothered. O'Brien goes back in. Well wrapped up there by the player in... what's going on here? One umpire saying blood rule. Off play, so
what are we going to do? Have a ball up after
that? Copped one worse for wear. He's got a bit of blood coming from.
Yeah, he was right in the middle of that.
They can't start the play, and exactly the umpire said stop. So there's all sorts going on here.
Takes a bit to roll Benny Horsman up, but he was a bit cranky in that lot there.
Yeah, he might have come up a bit second hand in that. He's the worse for wear. Yeah. So we're about 40 metres out, directly in front of the Carey Park goal. There's players going everywhere. There's hands being pointed, fingers being pointed. So Zahaf's going to go up. Against Wright, he just hits it forward. Crane's taking it. He handballs wide. Now no one can get the footy. O'Halloran, he can't take it in there. Well, the player slips over there in Tetlow. Now South Bunbury look to be out. Good pick up there from South Bunbury player there in Gallagher. He soccers that forward. Comes up. Blaine Johnson comes out. He's got 3-1. What can he do? Does well, but now Carey Park weighted numbers. Jackson Bell, he's well wrapped up. That ball's going nowhere, and we're going to have a ball up inside the centre square on the attacking side for South Bunbury. So we've been happy to get out of that.
Plenty of feeling out here, though, John.
There certainly is. We want to see Pedley comes over top. Delilio, you should tackle son. Don't the bump there. He just rides the bump there as a South Bunbury player, but we're going to have a ball up in the same spot. Well, the umpire's sovereign. You're going to penalise someone here, is he? No. He says give it here in the end. And we'll have a ball up just inside the centre square on the attacking side for the Tigers. 26 plays 6 late into the first quarter. Ruckman go to it. No one can take the footy. There's going to be a scrum here. We'll have a ball up again.
Let's go around the ground thanks to Geograph Civil, John. Bunbury 3-2-20 lead Donnybrook 2-1-13. And the Harvey Bulls 1-5 lead Dunsborough 1 straight.
Interesting score lines there. Obviously conditions will be similar to what's here. So a bit of a stalemate here. The ball's been in this area for a couple of minutes. We're going to ball up again. So Zahaf, he hits the ball forward this time. Oh, almost through there was Delello. He couldn't take it. Handball comes out. Tetlow, he goes back to Bell. Number of players over the top. Bell's held without the footy. Play on's the call. Now, what are we going to have here? Trying to squeeze out the back. It's pretty welling out there, Croney. There's about 20 blokes around the footy. No one can come clear, and we're going to have another ball up almost in the same position.
There's a bit going on
off the ball. There's a nice little rib tickler thrown in there by, I won't give Sally Mountain by mentioning him, but he'd be pretty happy with that. Now it's a South Bunbury free kick. Well, Pedley quickly handballs to Gallagher. He goes in the Blaine Johnson direction. He's held, throws the arms out. The umpire didn't come in, get sucked into that, but well tackled down there was a South Bunbury player. She's pretty willing. Bourne can't get the kick away, and he's penalised for dropping the ball. The only way the umpire can get this to move is
she's willing, all right.
It certainly is. Pay a few kicks, get the ball moving, break up the congestion. So Carey Park on that far pocket, young Baker in front of the scoreboard. 26 plays 20. He just chips down the line. He's sort of lucky there.
One thing, Carey Park, they've stopped that run a little bit with what's going on in the middle. Looking for a peak performance too to City and Regional Fuels.
Payne, he just drives that ball on that far side. I think it's young Harrop, what's he's called to play on now. He drives down to that wing on that far side, defensive side. A number of players go. No one can take the mark. The ball comes to ground. Socket out the back. Good pick up there by the South player, but he's well wrapped up out there by, is it Lanigan? He's wrapped up the South player. I couldn't pick up who that was. So it was Jones.
It's entertaining, no doubt about that.
Yeah, there's a bit of feeling, which is good. It depends what sort, I suppose, what end of the feeling you're on.
Ask Benny Horsman what the feeling.
Yeah, not so great. He won't enjoy his beer tonight, win, lose or draw. Anyway, boundary thrown on towards the Falcon. It's hit the big Carey Park ruckman right on the scone, and the ball's bounced one way, and a number of players around it. And we're going to have another ball up. So the quarter's dragged out a bit, Croney. There's been 5 goals kicked, I suppose. Zahaf goes up, taken there by Tetlow. He can't get the footy away. Now the loose ball comes through. In there was a player there in Hutchison. He's wrapped up. And we'll have another, I don't know, he's penalised for dragging the ball in, is he? No.
Not a bad crowd in, actually. We're right in amongst it today too.
Crowd, yeah. Sitting amongst. Pedley's got some elevation there, picked up by Waldrop on the left foot. He drives his side forward to high half forward. Out there comes Lance Short. He's wrapped up, can't get the handball all the way. That should be dropping the ball, and is. Now they played the advantage. Picked up the loose ball, picked up there, and right in the teeth of the goals is Blaine Johnson. Read the flight of the ball better. Croney, you can help me there. Who was the player that kicked it? He's played on, as you know. The umpire says come back. He's going to kick up hard up against the point post.
I'm not sure. It might have been Jones coming through.
Was it number 21 now at the far side? Yeah, Braden Jones just picked up the boots, and he was a player. It was a good kick. I'm not sure if he was going for home or not, but Blaine was in the
every
box
point
seat.
He was going for home.
Yeah. So Johnson screws that around, and the umpire doesn't move. Over the goal umpire's head she goes. Another 6-pointer on the board for South. They move to 5-2-32. They lead Carey Park 1 straight 6, and the Panthers are in all sorts of trouble here. They just can't get the ball forward of half forward with any precision, and every turnover now they're certainly paying the price.
Yeah, and they work very hard too, the Panthers. They're not as if they're not having a fair dinkum crack to try and hold up South, but that quick break over the top, I'll be interested to see if this breeze does have any effect in that second quarter, because South have got away to a very nice lead.
Yeah, they've learnt something from last week anyway. They've moved the ball quite quickly. They've haven't gone back and stopped.
Well, they actually look switched on.
Yeah, they haven't been stagnant. The ball's kept rolling at every opportunity, and it's put the Carey Park back line under pressure. When they've been able to pick up a ball, whether it's a loose ball or pressure ball, they've treated it as if it's a hot spud. They've whacked it on the boot, and the options, just take that extra second and try and find something, or get a handball out and get some running carry and try and break a line that way.
You just got a compliment come through on the messages too about your commentary too, mate, so take that.
I can imagine. Thanks to whoever it was. Calvin Lawrence, he picks up, drives it to half forward, but Goiter, he's just in the right spot at the right time. Comes out this top side now, Croney. Ball swirling around. It's going to almost bounce back towards Goiter. Picked up there by Sawyer. He's wrapped up. Chips it over the top now to Riley. He takes
pretty clever.
It was. He didn't panic. There was a difference there.
He had a lot of traffic coming towards him and just held his own.
He certainly did. So what's Riley going to do? He's on the left side. He drives that in towards Crane. Out the back there is Nordell. He takes an uncontested mark. Plays on now. Wills. Johnson lead.
That's a good lead.
That was a training drill.
Brilliant kick.
Was a good kick, but it was an even better lead, and there was a paddock in front of him to lead up to. So again,
he did that pretty well, didn't he, Bourne? He just held back and he went right. There's a bit of an art to that. Pushed off and left. And that left him with a couple of metres, and that kick was perfect.
Especially when you got that space, you don't have to lead too early because that space, no one come back into it, and it was almost like a mark-free zone where you couldn't enter. Just leave it open for me. So when he comes from about 35, 40 metres out, horrible-looking kick. He just golf chipped that, and over the back has taken uncontested mark. Is that Jace Cormack?
That's Jace Cormack, but I think he might have been out. It's out on the full.
Oh, okay, so deep in front of the scoreboard now, he drives the ball down towards Mulholland. He takes a mark for the Panthers, tries to relieve the pressure, chips over the top there to, is it Bell? He's about 60 metres out from his defensive goal.
Tell you what, Richie Bourne's putting his hand up for the WA Carpet Supermarket Best on Ground. He's had a lot of footy kicks, couple of goals already.
He certainly has. Down up on the wing now, player taken high for the Panthers. Pedley picks up, he chips it, Crane picks up, he goes out wide there to his teammate in Riley. He handballs over top to Cormac. Loose handball there, cut off by Baker. Now Zahaf, he can't pick it up. In there goes Cormac, whips it back, goes one way or the other. Wheels back around to the left. Handballs to a ruckman, not the best option. Well wrapped up there, but Crane picks up a loose ball, drives that towards the top of the square. No one can take the mark. Out there comes the match winner from last week. Handballs over to the captain. He handballs to Blake Pickett. That was a horrible looking kick. He had a little bit more time, or he had an extra player.
He second guessed himself there, Blake Pickett. He went to go on the left, then on the right, and then he should have done. You're right.
So the kick comes out towards Baker. Drops short. Mulholland runs past. Gets you over the top. He chips over the top there to, is it Bell? He plays on. He's 60 metres out from defensive goal. Carey Park have numbers here. Is it Orsi takes a mark. High half-back wing area. Stops the play. They're just getting no movement ahead of the ball, and they're playing in the South's hand. So the ball comes now towards the half.
And that's Carey Park's game, isn't it?
Yeah, they got
to move the ball quick and get up and about and trust each other.
Certainly do. So he kicks the ball towards Lanigan. Well sport there by the player in Galloway, I think it was, number 24. A good double fister over the line. So again, high half-forward wing area. She's out of bounds on that far side of Hands Oval. And the scoreboard, 33 South Bunbury, 5-3-33 lead. Carey Park 1 straight 6.
That's on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, and I tell you what, Hearthouse, mate, they do a great job down there. Who's warming up? I reckon we need a bit of Hearthouse.
I don't know who's got hold of the siren, Craney. I think the guy's gone for a pie or something to warm himself up, because this quarter's gone for an eternity. Anyway, the ball's driven back up towards the wing. Attacking side for South Bunbury, and it's going to roll out of bounds. It is, and we'll have a ball in the attacking side on the far wing for the Tigers. They'll be pretty happy with the start. As you said, it'll be interesting to see what the ball carry.
It will, whether it is very difficult to go to that Bustleton Street end.
Yeah, so thrown in, it holds up into the breeze. Zahaf just fists that forward. Picked up there. Can't pick up the South Bunbury players. Captain, I keep forgetting his name, in Chitty. He's one way or the other, and she's rolled out of bounds.
Either. I mean, this weather closes in. To have 5 goals on the board is pretty handy.
I mean, it was a bit like last week. That's what I say. Bunbury were probably... South had to try and win the game. At quarter time, that game was almost over. You can almost say the same here, because in these conditions, to have 5 goals on the board now is a real good effort. They've dominated. They've kept the ball moving, which has been the key to it. And Carey Park haven't been able to generate any run and carry, and everything they've been has been stagnant and just too easy to be picked off.
Carey Park started in that first quarter. They tried to chip it into... So there must be a little bit of a breeze out there, but they need that run from behind. Yeah,
they certainly do. So we're on that true wing position on the far side. The ball's just dollied around, and we're going to have another ball up. Ruckman at it again. Pedley from behind. This time Zahaf. It goes forward. Picked up there by Tetlow. He's almost cleaned up. DeLello, he just whacks on the left boot. For South with numbers. Player there in Jones, I think it was. Goes towards Crane. He takes it well below his knees. Handballs inside to Sawyer. He's going to be wrapped up by O'Brien. Now coming through there. Sure who that player was. It was a good Princey, good looking kick. Bourne spills one, takes it. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire calls a hold. Probably a bit fortunate there. He was stripped. He had the footy. It was bobbled out in a tackle. It must have lingered a bit longer, but he's got a shot from 40 metres directly in front. Can he put the 6 on the board? And what's this? His second or third himself?
This will be his third if he puts his 3. He's already had a couple of shots. pretty dangerous player. Good pick up by South, isn't it? Because he's good forward and then he can go through the midfield a little bit as well.
Yeah, he went missing last week for 3.5 quarters.
Pretty crook last week.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
As I said, I hadn't seen him play, and through different people I heard a bit about him, and he snuck that through. Yep, that's straight over the goal umpire's head. Good start to the game for him. He's got 3 on the board as we approach quarter time. They go to 6-3-39, I think it'll be. Lead at Carey Park 1 straight 6, so almost a match-winning lead before we hit quarter time, Croney.
Yeah, he's warming up too, thanks to Harthouse. Get that feeling, find a smart burn. Peak performance for City Regional and Fuel. They're all adjectives for South Bunbury's start here, aren't they? 6 goals on the board in the first quarter. As I said, we don't really know the effectiveness of that breeze, but either, you've still got to put 6 on the board, and they've just been running in numbers. I like the way they've been using their handball to create a bit of space. It's a real offensive handball, whereas Carey Park is more defensive handball when they're in a bit of strife. They haven't got that real run-forward handball, so hopefully they can link something together, the Panthers.
They've just got no pace at the moment to be able to someone get a loose ball right on siren time. 6-3-39 at quarter time, South Bunbury. They lead Carey Park 1 straight 6. A very handy 33-point lead. Only time will tell how much, as you said, how much effect that breeze will have. And I think the Carey Park Brains Trust will want to go to the drawing board and find some answers and find them very quickly. Otherwise, this game's going to slip well and truly out of control if it isn't already.
That's on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Plenty of feeling in that first quarter. South Bunbury got away to a very nice lead. We'll be back after the break for quarter 2. Well, it was a cracker of a first quarter. South Bunbury got off to a fairly good start. They currently sit at 6 goals, 339 to Carey Park, 1 goal straight 6. And look, we think the win is going South Bunbury's way to the city end or the scoreboard end, but time will tell, John. Carey Park, well, they need to find a bit of run from behind, don't they, and get that real loose ball run going, and probably just tighten up the discipline a bit.
Yep, certainly, and just got to get movement from lines ahead of the play. They've just got nothing. Every time they've kicked down a line, it's been to a stop-start. And South haven't none of that. They're running off them. They're bringing the ball to ground, and they're working through in numbers. And Carey Park are just literally getting left behind.
Goal scorers for the South Bunbury: 3 to Richie Bourne. He was very good in that quarter. 2 to Johnson, 1 to Jones. And for Carey Park, Brady Lanigan got 1 as a result of a 50-metre penalty. And John, that's a bit of a work back. Let's see what the Panthers can do. We're just about ready to start the second quarter. I can tell you there's a fair bit of feeling out there. There was a bit of a push and shove quite a few times in that quarter. Ben Horsman's back out there after he had his nose rearranged a little bit, but he's back out there. Umpire holds the ball aloft. This is SEN Spirit, ready to start the second quarter, and this is John Bajetta.
Jones and Pedley go to it. No one can take it. Ball drops to the ground. Picked up there by Nordell as he comes racing out of the middle of the ground. Just drives that long. Bourne's in the box seat again. Well done there by Harrop this time. Gets the fist to it. Picked up at the back there by Tyson Lane. He goes one way or the other. Keeps it in play, did he? No, the boundary umpire's
just couldn't
right
quite
there.
Get a handle on it. Tyson Lane was very, very good last week.
Yeah, very good. Very unassuming.
He's got a bit of pace, hasn't he?
He has, but he just looks shouldn't say it. He looks uncoordinated with the ball in hand. But very effective. Ruckman, down it comes. No one can pick up a loose ball. Pedley's over. He's going to be penalised if he doesn't knock it out. Comes out, does it? No, the umpire says give it here. We're about 40 metres out from the South Bunbury goal, so they got the ball where they want it to start the quarter. Up they go. Jones and Pedley. Pedley just grabs it. What was that for? I don't know. But anyway, he's a recipient of a free kick.
Gee, that was a bit of a hard one to pick, wasn't it?
He was the one that went up with knees and whatever and took possession of the ball, and the Carey Park ruckman was penalised. But anyway, he just golf putts that over the top, and Sammy Brown's going to take an uncontested mark. Blaine Johnson just looks back and says, mate, a bit lower for me. So Sammy Brown, he wheels out to that far side. What's he got out there? Zahaf, a strong mark. That was paid? Yeah, that had to be paid. Well done there by young Zahaf. So he's right on the true half back.
He's a real goer ahead too, isn't he?
He does. He puts in all the time. He shoots over the top. I think it's Orsi with the orange boots on that far side. Not a lot in front of him again, as we said. That's just
that lack of movement, isn't it? We're
so
looking for somebody to run past, create something.
He's just going to be forced to go down the line, which is going to suit South Bunbury. So Lanigan's underneath it. Horsman comes over the top, brings it to ground. Play on's the call, and she's rolled out of bounds on that far side. On the far wing, attacking side for Carey Park. So can they make something happen? A couple of times South had it over there in the last quarter, and they were able to work the footy out and hit the scoreboard from the same position. So Pressure's on the Panthers now. They need to hit the scoreboard. They need to hit it quick. In it comes. Ruckman at it. Pedley's got front position. Just brings that down. Crane's wrapped up. Ball comes to ground. Number of players jump in. No one can squeeze it out. There's going to be a ball up, is it?
Carey Park are a big confidence side too. They need to sneak one through and then just get themselves up and about.
Well, if they keep playing like this, they're going to get rolled by 10, 12 goals. So they might as well have a crack. And like you said, if they can get their tails up for a couple of minutes, get a goal or two. Umpire's pointing the wrong way there. Liam Stewart's got the free kick. He wheels inside onto the left foot. Drives that long and high. Comes out in front of the scoreboard now. Lanigan's in front of Horsman. That's a good mark by Brady Lanigan. Right in front of the scoreboard.
Should we put that one down for CPR?
That was a strong mark.
Of the day?
He had Horsman, who's probably got a little bit of height over him, but he just turned his shoulder to protect the ball. And once he got hands on the pill, she was a fairly strong vice-like grip. And right in front of the scoreboard, which reads 6-3, 39 South Bunbury. One straight 6 Carey Park in the opening 2.5 minutes of the second quarter. He has to go back and put this on the board.
I thought he actually went to the wrong spot then, but as it turned out, Lanigan took a very good mark, but he's pretty deep in this pocket.
He certainly is. Well, we've seen Jones kick one from there, almost the same spot. So in he comes, deliberate shot. Tell you what, she's not a bad kick, Craney. It's a big fella in Collard. He goes up. Third time he couldn't take it. Picked up there by Lawrence. He's taken high. What's the umpire say?
He's got him high.
He certainly has, right on top of the goal square. So you mark this down if he misses this, although we did see one. I think it was last year. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was against Bunbury earlier this year where he missed one from about 20 metres out. I wouldn't think he'd be missing this. He's had a pretty good start to the game. And Calvin Lawrence will go back. I'd say just chips over Versace's head. He does. He tried hard to miss it, Craney. He tried his damned hardest to miss it, but he squeezed it through for a much-needed goal to the Panthers. They moved to 2 straight 12. They trail South Bunbury 6-3, 39, but a handy goal. As we said, they got to hit the scoreboard and they got to hit it quick.
Well, that's not... that's all right because we'll know what this breeze is actually doing. But that's what they needed. They needed to get up and about and get a bit of confidence flowing through the system, get a bit of that run so when the ball carrier looks up, he's got a couple of options to go to.
Yep, you're dead right there. So, like I said, they just got to, well, silly as it sounds, throw caution into the wind.
Yeah, that's right.
They just got to run and just, you don't want to handball too much today, but you just want to try and move that ball, get it into dangerous spots. As we said there, top of the goal square, draw a free kick, and you go back and you put it through.
Well, you need to open it up so you put a bit of pressure back on that South Bunbury defence.
Certainly do. So back in the middle of the ground, Pedley and Jones, up they go. Jones this time, he hits it down. Crane's taken without the footy. Play on's the call. They jump in. Who's going to squeeze out? They're going to have another ball up right, smack bang in the middle of hands over. We go again. Up they go, Pedley and Jones. This time Jones, he flicks it back. DeLello, he runs onto it, hooks it to the right, over in front of the far side there, and Goyder takes a real good mark over the back of Hutchison. He chips inside to Bain. He's been very quiet. Wheels comes out wide on his top side. He gets the ball to the top side. A real good kick, but an even better smothered by Liam Stewart. He's on his trusty left foot. He's got Collard 20 metres clear. Oh, he's dropped what he should have taken. He's made a mockery of his kick, but Rory O'Brien, the old Foxy veteran, he knows where to go. He picks up the ball, snaps it over the goal umpire's head. He says thank you very much, and the Panthers move to 3 straight 18, chipping away at the lead of South Bunbury 6-3, 39. So again, Craney, keep the ball moving, try and get some run and carry. It's not the day for perfect football, but get the ball moving at all costs, and you never know what could happen.
How's that spoiled by Stewart? That's what coaches are looking for, aren't they? They're the ones that turn over. South had all the run on that. They only had to pop it over to Pickett, and they probably would have having a shot for goal themselves.
You're right. They had loose in front of us. It was trying to be too cute, and today isn't the day to be cute.
Thanks to MGIG, like a good neighbour, MGIB is there. And I tell you what, Liam Stewart, take a bow for that. I know Rory O'Brien kicked the goal. It was very good, but that's where it come from.
I feel sorry for young Collard because he took 2 rippers here in front of us and wasn't paid. He had that one like a big jam cream donut, and he spilled it all over the floor and made a mockery of his kick. And fortunately for Rory, he said, hey, I'll show you how to do it, young fella. Back in the middle of the ground. Good pick up there by Cormac. Great pace. Comes through. Drives the ball to half forward. Push and shove down there. Well done there by Nordell. Almost takes a mark. Squeeze through. Bell picks up a loose footy. He's taken by a number of players, and the umpire said give it here on a true halfback position for the Panthers. So a good spoil in front in the end there by the Carey Park player in number 27 it was, in Axel. So South over the footy. Good wrap up there. And what's the umpire going to say? Give it here. It was Nordell at the bottom of the pack there. Dean, you're making good positioning there, mate. Jones, he brings the ball to ground. He goes himself. What's he going to do? Just tries to get the handball. Chitty picks it up. He tries to fend off. That's dropping the ball. If he was lucky, he's been rewarded. Well, play the first kick, and it wasn't Chitty, it was Bain. Oh, he squeezes the kick. Johnson's got rid of Brown, but Cam Baker just sat in the hole in front of Waldrott, takes an uncontested mark. Now he plays on. That's it, son. Run the ball wide. He runs out to that far wing. He's got a player in Hutchinson.
Terrific
loose.
kick.
Now
That's
got the handball out wide. Now they're starting to get going. Horsey gets onto the footy. He goes inside. He's got Mulholland running hard. Just needs to sit for him. Oh, well done there by Galloway. He's done a couple of handy things for South Bunbury. Horsey wins the race back the ball. He's taken without the footy. Umpire said play on. Now South have the numbers. Waldrop picks up. He's got Cormac riding shotgun. He comes in one. He gets around a young player there, and can't tell who it was. Brown and Johnson. Johnson protects the drop of the ball, but Brown's good enough to win it. Now it comes towards Nordell. He handballs to Johnson. He's going to run into an open goal, is he? He certainly is. So there's the answer. South Bunbury, they move to 7-3-45. Get the answer very quickly from Blaine Johnson. He protected the drop of the ball that very well. He was just a bit too clever for Sammy Brown. He made the space. He had an opponent loose in the goal square if he needed him, but he said, no, I'll do it myself. And I think that's his second, is it, Croney?
That's his third, Blaine Johnson.
Third.
But that's where moments in footy, Gary Park had a nice run down along the outer side, and they just had a little bit of a blip on the forward 50 that turned it over, and that made South Bunbury run it up along that outer side, direct return, which made it hard for the South Panthers defence. That all pushed forward. Cormac was very good, and Blaine Johnson kicks his third for the afternoon. Yeah,
if the ball pitched from Mulholland, the result would have been the other way. It would have been Kerry Park hitting the scoreboard. But young Galloway comes through, just got a hand in, and as you said, South had the extra.
Young Galloway, you're right about him. He's starting to come ahead in leaps and bounds.
So back in the middle of the ground, 45 plays 18. Ruckman at it. Jones, he wins it this time. He's picked up there by Milham. He's wrapped up in the middle of the ground.
You've been around Southwest footy for a long time. Have you ever seen two younger ruckmen go head-to-head as number one ruckman?
I was thinking that myself, Croney. So they've done a pretty good job for both their teams. Again, I don't know. Well, that was the same as what we've seen up here 5 minutes ago. And the guy who won the knock was paid the kick. And this time, that's got to be dropping a ball. I think the umpire's trying to square up there. But that was what they talk about is if it's the same one way, it's got to be the same the other way, and it was a total opposite. Anyway, Kerry Park, 30 metres out from goal, picked up there by Sawyer. He gives it to Versace. Nordell goes one hand. He can't take it. Horsey, good pace, picks it up in front of the scoreboard, screws it back. Where's it going to pitch? So Haff leads. No, he's outrun there by the South Bunbury player in, I think it's right. He handballs inside to Horsman. He just whacks it onto the boot, onto that far wing. Wow, good mark taken out there by Axel. He had a South Bunbury opponent held on his hammer. He's going to drive this inside. A horrible looking kick. Lux, or no, it's not. It just went over the top of Hutchinson. Crane picks it up. He comes across this side. He's got Chitty. Good spoil there by Mulholland. Who's going to win the race to the footy? South Bunbury do, but good tackle. Bain. He slips the tackle. Handballs back to Versace. He comes wide to Sawyer. What's he going to do? He wants to be too cute. He comes inside. Lucky Crane's equal to the task. He goes over the top to his teammate there. I'm not sure who that is. Craney. The fence is in the way. Cormac. He comes over the top. Now we've got a foot race. Bourne and Harrop. Who's going to win the footy? Bourne slaps forward. He knows he's got the wheels. He has a bounce on 50. Comes inside. 49. Screws inside to Jay Wright. He marks the footy 30 metres out directly in front. Take a bow, Richie Bourne. That was very good play. Very unselfish as well because he could have slotted number 4. He's seen his teammate in a lot better position, a lot closer to goal, and unselfishly he's just popped it over the top. And you'd think Jay Wright will go back there and that
was pure class. That's what it was.
Braden Jones, it is. Sorry, not Jay Wright.
That was a real peak performance for City of Regional Fuels. Richie Bourne, that was very, very clever.
He's been lively. Like I said, from what I heard about him last week, he was very ordinary, but today he's definitely played his part. And that was a good kick by Braden Jones. He slobbed that straight through the middle. So for all Kerry Park's good work at the start of the quarter, the South have come back. They've gone 8-3-51, I think it is. Lead Kerry Park's 3 straight 18. And it's just little things that, half chances South are taken, and Kerry Park just haven't been able to get a handle on when they've thrust forward. Even then, they had an opportunity to hit the scoreboard and just haven't made the most of every opportunity that they've worked hard to get. So
young Jones got a very good leg, hasn't he?
When that was a good kick
within goal.
Yeah, that was a real strong kick. As I said, up there, the breeze that's unprotected there, and she went straight through gun barrel straight, as they say, Croney.
Gun barrel straight.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that'll do. But, look, Kerry Park have worked very hard in this quarter, but South have the answers at the moment. There's no doubt about that.
So we've got the 6-6-6 whistles gone.
I think that 6-6-6 should be a free kick.
Yeah, you know the rule at the start of the game, so Anyway, Ruckman at it. Both hands on footy. Loose ball coming out. Who's going to pick it up? No one's sure. In there goes Tetlow. He knocks it towards Young Jones. He just soccers the ball forward. It's going to beat all players over the boundary line, I reckon. Goyder's leading the race to the footy. He's happy to see it go out. And what's the umpire going to pay? Throw it in. Right on the 50 metre arc.
How many times do you see a push in the back? Hang on, you can have a practice at that.
Yeah.
If it's a rule, it's a rule.
That's it, yep. It's like the umpire saying who's going to go up for the ball. Well, if more than one from each side goes up, it's a free kick.
It's quite simple, isn't it?
They're not 6-year-old kids.
I reckon we could simplify this, me and you, right now.
No one can win the knock there. All ruckman missed the footy. Over the footy there was Nordell. He's taken. Pedley can't get his boot to ball.
Did you get a stat for that kick off the ground?
It's just a little, I don't know what you call a toe poke or whatever.
Toe
He's lying
poke
on his
back.
back, yeah. So we'll have a ball up high half forward for Carey Park on that far side. Ruckman again, Jones and Pedley. No one get a hand to it. Who's got the hold of the loose footy? Or is it, not sure who that is, but he's scrummed. He's tried to gain yards. And he's
sling tackle, I think.
It was Orsi, isn't it? No, Milham. He drives the ball forward now. Carey Park from behind. Oh, well done there by the player in Galloway. He's wrapped up by Lawrence.
Gets himself in the right spot at the right time, Galloway.
Is he a local?
I think he might even be from South Australia, maybe for the Goldfields, not sure.
Yeah, righto.
Well, that narrowed it down a bit.
Yeah,
that
was good.
Goldfields.
Cormac runs from contested. He's taken from behind. Just got his kick in. Picked up there by Orsi. Now Baker does a long whooping handball. Not the day for that, son. South Bunbury got numbers around the footy. In there went Tedlow. Again, just little short handballs. Picked up there by Jackson Bell, it is. Wrapped up right in the middle of the ground. So we're going nowhere. We're going to have a ball up smack bang in the middle of the ground. We've been playing about 13 and a half minutes. 51 plays 18. All South Bunbury. Ruckman go to it. Jones. He's play on is the call. Yep. Still in the middle of the ground. We'll have another ball up.
Just zip around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil, John. And out at Donnybrook, Bunbury 5-3-33. They lead Donnybrook 3-1 at half-time. Bit of a slog out there.
Yeah, it would be, especially on that oval. It would be a bit of a bog. Ball drop picks up boys. Well tackled by Baker. Play on's the call. Kerry Park have the numbers, but South able to get a loose ball out. No one can pick it up. Nordell. This time it's picked up by Tatlow. He gets his teammate there in Harrop on the left boot, goes towards Jackson Bell. Pedley comes over top. Well done by Mo Helen. He goes out wide to the ruckman in Jones. Onto his left boot he goes. He's got numbers down the field. Just an up and under kick. Puts South Bunbury in the box seat. Good spoil by Horsman, but Calvin Lawrence has got on to run onto a loose ball at half forward. Free kick, but umpire calls play on. Out there comes Collard. He's beaten to the fall of the ball by Versace, who takes a chest mark in front of the scoreboard, which reads 51-18. He's got Crane with a paddock on that far wing. He's got runners inside. Long handball to Sawyer. He fumbles. Kerry Park try and close down the space. Oh, goes back to Crane. He's well wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire said, I'll pay free kick for effort to the Kerry Park player. Is it Jackson Bell out there? It's not Bell. I can't pick up who it is. He's quite a way away from where Harry Jones it is with the headband. So he's on that far wing. Drives the ball forward towards half forward. Out comes O'Brien in the front box seat. Hutchison soccers off the ground. Versace comes in, bends his back, picks it up. Well done. Gives a handball, but it's cut off by Hutchison. He's got Lawrence over the top. He's just whacked it on the foot, and it's just rolled shallow onto the right-hand side of the goalpost. Through for a minor score. So Kerry Park's 3-1-19. Trail South 8-3-51. And we've been playing 15 minutes on the dot in the second quarter.
There's no doubt from the Devon of the Panthers, is it? They're just letting them one slip out the back.
Yeah, just that little bit of polish that they don't have. As I said, last year they were all running stun, where this year they haven't got that. A few holes in their side and probably second-guessing some of the options that they're taking. Jones squeezed that down the line.
That's by the Harvey Norman interchange ball. That ball ended up.
So Payne, he's got the kick for out on the full. Now it's 50 metres. I don't know. There's players running on and off the ground. You'd be pretty unlucky if you penalised there, but I don't know what it was for. The young umpire said come back 50 metres, so it's going to give Kerry Park an opportunity to get a shot on goal here. He should be about 35, 40 metres out.
You're right there. The interchange bench was busy.
He was
in amongst it.
I don't think a South Bunbury player run on and off. Chitty's standing there, and he's been standing there for a couple of minutes. There's more Kerry Park guys running on and off.
Well, that kick's not there,
That was a kick of a backman. Out there at the back there was Versace. No one can take the mark. Kerry Park, loose ball, picked up there by South Bunbury, and he's forced over line. Whoever the player was, it might have been Galloway.
Galloway it was.
It was. So 3-2-20. Trail 8-3-51. So Goyder is it. So seizes up his options. What's he going to do? I reckon he's going to. No, you're not going to go down the middle of the ground. There's no one there. So we won't call that. He's gone on the left side, just chips over the top. He's got Cormac standing all on his own.
He's had a good return, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. good player. He just chips the ball down the line to Versace. He's marked right on the paint of defensive 50 on that far side where the scoreboard is. He's looking to come a little bit inboard, drives down the wing. Numbers Crane, the smallest man there, but he takes an uncontested chest mark. He runs off. He handballs back inside. His teammate there has got Waldrod out wide. He's got rid of that, not correctly, I wouldn't think. But anyway, he's light on the footy now. The umpire says give it here and we'll throw it up. Probably lucky he got away with that. I thought that was a good tackle and an incorrect disposal. But on that far wing, we'll have a ball up again. 51
Do you reckon we
plays.
should give Shorty the CPR outdoor mark of the day? He actually got off the ground.
He was still short than everyone else when he got off the ground. So how they come, Walter on the left foot, drives it right to Bain at half forward, right on the paint he takes. He wheels onto his right boot this time, kicks it into the hole. Blake Piggott, he's going to take an uncontested chest mark. He read the flight of the ball better than anyone else, and he'll go back from, the man on the mark's probably 38, 40 metres out. He'll kick from about 45 metres directly in front. He'll punch that into the teeth of the crossbreeze and see how he...
It'll take a good kick
I
from Blake.
was just going to say, would he make the distance from there?
I reckon it might pull up a bit short.
So, in he comes. He'll kick from about 45, 46 metres. Kicks on its way. It wasn't a bad looking kick, but it has held up Craney and it drifted left, right, so much that it went across, has gone out on the full. Doesn't trouble the scoreboard, and Carey Park will bring the ball back in on that far left-hand post.
The trouble Carey Park have got, South are going to go with this breeze in that third quarter that could open this game up dramatically.
Yeah, I think she's more than open at the moment. I think it's all one-way traffic. I don't think there's no coming back, but anyway... Jones picks up a loose ball at half back for Carey Park. He handballs. Tetlow's on the end of it now. He has one bounce.
Oh, he got a bit of pace
too. He's got 3 bounces now. Well, he'll have another one. He should do. He drives that ball to Collard. He's just back. Stood and waited. He's going to get run down, is he? No, he's finally got reward for his 3 or 4 efforts, and a good run on the far side there from Tetlow. He had a number of bounces. I probably thought he should have went another one, but he knew what he was doing. Collard didn't go up with Versace. Versace couldn't, he was sort of caught in the middle, and Collard was the recipient of an easy ball over the top. He had 20 metres on his opponent and able to sort of turn around and kick an uncontested goal. So
I like the look of that Tetlow, John. He had plenty of pace out there and was willing and confident enough to use it. And I'm good to see Collard on the end of one. He's had a couple of opportunities this afternoon to nail one. He got left out in the square and made no mistake about that. That just keeps the Panthers alive.
Yeah, I said, we see
Have you got the chips out, mate? There's a lot of seagulls
they're coming in. They're likely to fly at the top of us and you know what. But anyway, 8-3 leads 4-1, and we're ticking into the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. So up they go, Jones and Pedley, stalemate. DeLello, he picks up a loose ball in the middle of the ground, goes forward, out comes Lanigan, good kick and an even better mark. And he led Horsman to the footy. He took a ball above his eyes, and he'll go back from about 45, 50 metres by the time he kicks it. And this be an understatement to say another much-needed goal to the Panthers.
I reckon he's a fair chance.
He's a good kick of the footy, and I was about to say before, Craney, when Tetlow was on his run, the wind has straightened up, so there is a definite advantage, and that was a horrible kick. As they say, the ball will go where you run to. He run out that to the right, and the ball kept following him, and she's gone out on the full. So Gorda, he switches the play back onto this top side. South have the run on this top end now. Can't pick up the player. He goes one way. Might be Gully. He has one bounce. He comes down to the wing. Sawyer, is it? He comes down the wing to Lane. He's been quieter today. Well done there by the opponent there for Carey Park.
Yeah, I think the Panthers done a little bit of homework on Lane, actually. They've done quite a good job.
Payne read it well then. He got the hands up. He's been fairly handy at half-back for Carey Park this year. He's had a good start to the year. So boundary thrown on a true wing right in front of the interchange, or the Carey Park coaches box.
The Harvey Norman interchange box.
It certainly is, and we thank all the sponsors once again. No one can take clean ball. Carey Park, the ball bounced one way, come back, but South through Bain. He goes, gets a handball. Again, a number of players squeeze that footy. Crane picks up. He goes one way or the other. Screws it back over his shoulder. Payne's in the box seat to take the mark. Just carries, but he's back on it. He's well wrapped up. He squeezed one way or the other. And the umpire says, no, he had no opportunity right in front of us. And
there was plenty of umpires in the box behind us.
Yep. Some free advice, as they say. So right in front of us, the umpire throws it all off. Numbers of players. Bell picks up a loose ball, just kicks it. Oh, Jones, is that... geez, that's... it was high, but he ran into it. So lucky to get a free kick.
There wasn't much.
No malice in it. Blake Piggott was going for the mark. Jones had his eye on the ball, and he just run into Piggott. Simple
he
as
did
that.
get him a fairly handy one.
Anyway, Jones, he kicks the ball up there for Zahaf. It rolls between his legs and hits his coach and his assistants on the chest. So we'll have a boundary throw in front of the Kerry Park coaches
big
box.
Zane Verhoef doesn't need him down at his feet like that.
No,
he made a pretty good lead. Needed to put it up a bit.
Yep. But that was that was just an unlucky free kick. So Ruckman at it. Zahaf, he's it down. Bell's ragged it in that tackle. Probably a bit unlucky, didn't get a kick. Bain picks it up. He goes one way or the other. Wants to take him on. Kicks it into the back of Cormac. But Cormac goes one way or the other. Just a loose handball over top. Bain takes it. He's going to get run down here. He kicks that ball, but Crane on the chest. Handball's inside the chitty. He goes one way or the other. Now he puts his teammate in under all sorts. Oh, great pick up by Tyson Lane. He's taken high. Well done by Delello. He's met by Bain. Now a number of players go in, and we're going to have a ball up. She got fairly willing there. And well done by Delello then, the smallest bloke there, but he wanted the footy. He wore a few hits and knees and elbows. Pedley over the top. Delello stripped of the footy. Play on's the call. Again, we've got some umpires behind us, Craney. Delello, he tries to drag it in. It bubbles out. Who blew the whistle then?
Oh, I'm not quite sure where that come from.
I thought the boundary. I was watching the central umpire, and I think he was as no idea what's wrong there. Sawyer takes an uncontested mark. That ball just hung up in the air. So what's he done? He chips it wide towards Bain. He takes an uncontested mark. He doesn't. He just stops and props. Not much on offer up forwards. A number of players stagnant. Just a horrible flower bag. Harrop rinse the ball forward.
It was half smothered.
Yeah, it certainly was. It's Liam Stewart couldn't get the footy away. South have the numbers. Nordell gives it towards Crane. He goes one way or the other. Waits for something to open up. Just gets it on the boot. Gets it forward. Yards. Nordell over the top towards Water. He picks up on his left boot. If anyone knows where the goals are,
let's
he definitely
put that
does.
down for
and
the
that
Western
will be a
Western All goal of the day, John.
Certainly Western All
very, very good.
Services. You can mark that down. That will take some topping. That was a real good opportunist goal from Cade Waldrop. We know he's a good goal kicker, and he made no mistake once he got hands on ball.
I tell you what, that's his bread and butter, isn't it? He is very, very clever around that half forward line. He's a good size too, and that left leg very dangerous, knows where the goals are, and that South Bunbury just keep answering the Panthers at all times, don't they? It's amazing just down in front of us, actually. All the players stopped.
Yeah, well, Crane
had the ball. I wonder what was going on.
But he didn't panic and just get rid of it quickly. In the end, it wasn't. It was just a kick forward, but as you said, the game stopped.
Everyone stopped, and I wonder what happened.
And the kick come out quickly, and Waldrop run onto a loose ball. And
let's have a quick look on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. South Bunbury 9 goals, 3-57. Have a fairly handy lead at Kerry Park 4-1-25.
Ruckman go at it again. Delello, he's held. Play on's a call. Pedley picks it up. He's wrapped up by Jones, and the umpire said,
"That's
give it
been
out."
a good battle, isn't it, for the Southern Lock and Security?
It certainly has. As you said, Zahaf is in there, not Jones, for Kerry Park. So Zahaf, Pedley wins the knockdown. Who's going to win the race to the footy? Is it Milham? Blake Piggott just goes off the ground. Waldrop comes out, picks up. He's got Crane. He just chips inside and hits a raging bull in Blaine Johnson. Just led out at 100 mile an hour. The kick was only probably lucky to be 20 metres, but Blaine just demanded the footy. He come out at 100 mile an hour, and Crane was equal to the task. Just hit that ball into the zone. And Blaine Johnson will go back for number 4. He's going to kick from about 40 metres out on the slide
Absolutely
angle.
Nothing the defender can do about that when it comes in like that. He'd made his space. The kick was good.
Yep. He comes in over the ball. I tell you what, she's just drifted to the left. So another
he can kick the footy though, can't he?
He certainly can.
That drifted away to the near side, but it was still into a fairly stiff breeze from where he was, and it made the distance quite easy.
It was post height as it went across the line. Payne comes out. He covers ground. He's going to drive towards half forward. Zahaf's under the ball. Sawyer couldn't take the mark. He's wrapped up by Mahallen. Play on's the call. Zahaf's over it now. It's all South Bunbury around him, but if it comes out, he's done the right thing and kept it in. We'll have a ball up at high half forward wing area right in front of us, Craney.
Which is a good spot for us, mate.
Certainly is. 58 plays 25 as we're ticking down towards half-time. Pedley goes over top. Jackson Bell can't take it. In comes Chitty. He handballs wide to Cormac. He goes one way or the other. Then a loose handball over top, but Crane runs onto a loose ball. Again, he's got Johnson 15 metres or 10 metres off his opponent. Takes an easy uncontested, almost a chest mark. 35, 40 metres out directly in front. And I'll tell you what, he won't miss this one, Croney.
And I'll tell you what, it'd be nice as a full forward run onto that leg.
Yeah.
It was right on Johnson's chest, and he didn't have to break stride. and it makes it, as I said, almost impossible for the defender of Carey Park.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Again, he comes in deliberately, kicks from 38 metres out directly in front. He's not done it once, but he's done it twice and put it in the same.
He knew as soon as he kicked that too, did Johnson.
That sort of drifted across. He's made a liar of us. We told everyone he's such a good kick. 9-5, 59 leads 4-1-25 as we tick down to 20.
Who's warming up, Stu, thanks to Hearthouse? Well, we're not, because it's chilling down out here.
Yep. The long kick goes out wide, but good mark by Nordell, I think it was. Just stood his ground, put the jukes up. So he comes back inside to Bain, inside the centre square. Chips that ball inside to Cormac all on his own. You can pretty much say it was Waldrot or Cormac. Cormac's now he's got Nordell all on his own, but at the back is Blaine Johnson, and he takes a chest mark. 47 metres out. Bit of attention from the Carey Park fullback and Sam Brown. Johnson just plays on. He's got a loose in Waldrot. Uncontested. Everyone chased the man. Tyson Lane picks up a loose ball. That was just a comic of errors by the Carey Park defenders there. They were more worried about trying to take out young Waldrot instead of looking at the footy. Rolled through the back, and Tyson Lane picked up an easy one. Top of the goal square and just popped us through, and the Carey Park defenders all looking at each other. And one, they missed the man they went for, and two, they missed the ball, and three, they paid the price.
They did it, that in South Bunbury. Well, they were peppering for a bit there, weren't they?
Yeah.
They lifted the ante there. Johnson had a couple of shots for goal. And then Lane, well, he was just down at the back, more or less fell in his lap. But you still got to make the most of it, popped it over the top. But you're right, the Carey Park defenders were too busy looking at each other and concentrating on Waldrot, and you can't afford. That's the trouble with this South Bunbury side, John. If you cover one, there's someone else that jumps up and does something.
It was almost like the dam wall bursting there, because they haven't manned up as such, and everyone trying to chase the ball like an under-10s game instead of being responsible for your man. Anyway, back to the middle of South Bunbury. Have gone 40. Oh, Blaine Johnson. He's going to be about a foot higher after being taken that high and stretched him. So third time in the quarter, he's going to go back from that left-hand side, and he's had a few siders, Craney. We know distance probably won't be a problem. He might have lost a bit of confidence. He's looking for someone to pass it to, and he does. He just chips that up into the hole, and Gallagher's come out about 35 metres out, directly in front. Led up, and Blaine's just popped it over the top, and Gallagher, would he have the leg to
they
make
also,
the distance?
Carey Park would be a bit worried about. I don't think there's been too many sides so far this year that managed to score more than 2 goals after half-time against South Bunbury, so a long way back.
There's no coming back. I mean, the last 10 minutes I've literally played with them, and it's just lucky they haven't hit the scoreboard. That was, Jesus, comedy of errors all around. Bell couldn't pick up the footy. Waldrot does. He's hacked that forward, but Sam Brown, he runs it through his defensive goal. And the umpire, what's he going to do? What's he doing now? Playing at 50 metres, is he?
No, I think there was a call for deliberate, but...
Well, just the way he pointed. Anyway, he's driven that out on the far side. Now Carey Park run the ball forward. Stewart, Rory O'Brien picks up a loose ball. He handballs to a running teammate in Mulholland. He drives the ball forward. Siren beats them all. So right on half-time, 10-6, 66 South Bunbury. They lead Carey Park 4-1-25, a handy 41-point lead on the right on half-time, and I don't think there's any coming back from here, Croney.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is there. Yeah, it was a good quarter of footy, wasn't it? Because Carey Park threw a fair bit at South, and then South come back with a vengeance in that last half of the quarter. We'll be back after the break for the Hungry Hollow halftime chat. And welcome back to Hands Oval. This is the SEN Spirits coverage of the Southwest Football League. And the halftime break, thanks to Hungry Hollow Beach Bar and Grill. John and myself know it's a fantastic spot to sit and have a nice feed and a quiet ale overlooking the ocean. Although today I think you might be sitting inside because the temperature has gone down a little bit. On the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard at halftime, see South Bunbury 10 goals 66 to Carey Park 4 goals to 26. Goal scorers for South Bunbury: Richard Bourne has 3, Blaine Johnson has 3, Braden Jones has 2, Tyson Lane has 1, and Cade Waldrot 1. For the Panthers, Rory O'Brien 1, Kelvin Lawrence 1, Brady Lanigan 1, and Jaden Collard 1. Well, it was a game that quarter. Carey Park fought their way back into it. They worked very, very hard to get back into it, but at the end of the quarter, South Bunbury just upped the ante, as they've been doing for most of the season. And and they pushed away again. John, the Panthers, you can't take their effort away. They just couldn't get the same area of South Bunbury.
No, it hasn't been a bad game. For mine, it's I can't see them getting back. They just don't have the polish to be able to get back. It's not that, they tried to run it, or we said at quarter time, if they don't start moving and try something different, it's not going to happen for them. In the first half of the quarter, they were quite good. Just a little bit, the lucky bounce here or there, which they didn't get, which they would have loved to have had in their forward line. Would they have been in front? Probably not, but it would have been a closer game on the scoreboard. In general play, they're thereabouts, but they're probably not doing enough to try and make it a bit more happen. It's hard to say. We're not saying they're not having a go, but they're not working probably hard enough, long enough, where South, I'd say the last 10 minutes, that could have got real ugly. If a couple of them shots of Johnson's gone through and things like that, we were probably looking at 13, 14 goals on the board, and he was saying, geez, it's 10 goals. That damn wall could have really burst. And so that last goal that young Lane picked up, that was an indication of what had been happening for that 10 minutes of play. The Carey Park players all got frustrated. They went for the man. They took their eye off the man in the end, missed him, had no idea where the ball was. The ball rolls through 3 or 4 guys' area, and it hits the South Bunbury bloke standing on his own in the goal square and turns around and kicks the goal. That tells you their mind's not on the job. They're not working hard enough at the ball, and they're paying the price. And South could have probably buried them. They haven't. They're not even a sneaky chance of getting back in the game. But in general play, they're doing their little bit. They just got to do it a bit better for a bit longer.
We've seen glimpses of Carey Park's footy around the outer side, but to their detriment, for these games so far this year, we're into round 8, not too many sides have scored multiple goals after half-time at South Bunbury. They seem to lock them down, so they're going to have to find some way, and I think it's the same as that. You need to just throw caution to win that quick running footy. You need to go, but that's easier said than done when the other side's going to peel off you and kick a goal. I tell you what, John, this is a Hungry Hollow half-time break. We're going to come back after the break and have a bit of a look at the second half to see whether the Panthers can make a bit of an inroad into the South Bunbury score. Hands Oval, this is SEN Spirits coverage of the Southwest Football League. For the clash between South Bunbury and Carey Park, which sees South Bunbury with a fairly handy lead at half-time, 10 goals 6, 66 to 4 goals to 26. John, Carey Park need to go to Hungry Hollow and have a couple of beers. No, they've got a bit of work to do, haven't they? This is a Hungry Hollow, the half-time chat. And I just got to make a bit of a note to Russell Hall out there who's listening. He says, stop checking your phone. I'm getting the scores from other grounds there, Russell. So,
yeah, well, the app doesn't get updated as quick as what we would like it. So the CEO, what's he call himself? General Manager? Maybe he should pull his finger out and do his job a bit better, eh?
Let's go around the grounds for Geograph Civil. Out at Brunswick Oval, Bunbury 8 goals 5, 53. They lead the Donnybrook Football Club 5 goals 1, 31. So there's still a little bit left in that contest too. Yep. And down at Dunsborough, well, this is pretty tight too. Dunsborough 5 goals 3, 33. They lead Harvey Bulls 4 goals 7, 31 at half time. So not much in them two games, but a bit between these two sides at the moment, John.
Yeah, it's well, I said when we were talking early this afternoon that we're talking about the 5 and all that, and pretty much the way this game's playing out, I believe this is Carey Park's season on the line. I don't think if they drop this game, I don't think they can make the 5. And from what we've seen so far, it's hard to see them winning this game before. I don't think they can win this game of football. So they're going to need a hell of a lot to go right from here on through, because I can't see them winning this. And Margaret River on a roll. They're probably, you look at the 5 now, Bunbury playing good enough footy to be there. Donnybrook, well, depending on what happens with a couple of players there, if they drop out, but they're the only side that you would probably think now that look like dropping out, if any of them. And I can't see it. I think the 5's set. It's just a matter of what order they shuffle up in. So if you're looking at Carey Park and Busselton, then you need everything to go right. And Carey Park have got an hour to turn this around. I don't think they're going to win the game, but They've got to show something to say that they can turn it around for the next or whatever games left, 8 or 10 or 12 games they got, and just they're going to need to prey on luck for the rest of the year that sides above lose the unlosables and things like that. So you don't want to be in that boat. So for them, as I said, I think this next hour is their season in a nutshell.
It's interesting here at Harvey Norman interchange bench. There is another player coming off. There was only 3 players from South Bunbury heading to the bench. They've changed. There is still 3 players heading to the bench. So one player must have
stayed inside. Showered up.
Must be a bit chilly out there. But look, there's a lot on the line, isn't there? This is a very vital quarter for Carey Park, because South Bunbury will be going to what has been the scoring end a little bit, and they were starting to get right on top towards the end of that first half of the game. So a bit of work to do, I would think, but Carey Park, well, they're a very proud football club, as you know, John. You coached them to a couple of premierships, so they'll throw everything at this third quarter. Well,
they're going to have to. And I just done a head count, Croney. There's obviously someone has showered up. There's only 3 on the bench for South, and there's only 18 out there. So about to start the second half.
We might try and pick up who that is.
Up they go. Pedley goes early. No one can take the footy. Delalio, he rats him up. Again, South in numbers. Cormac's over it. He drags it in underneath him. He's set upon, and the umpire says start again, and we'll have another ball up in the middle of the ground. So, similar lineup to what we had at the start of the game. Jones wins a knock down to O'Brien. He's taken. He's ridden into the ground. Liam Short whacks it onto the left boot. He drives the ball forward, but Horsman just stands under the high floating ball. He switches wide towards Crane. He's running onto a loose ball on halfback, steps inside, gets the ball down to the wing area. Piggott's all on his own. He takes an uncontested mark in front of Mulholland. He's got a runner outside, but it chooses not to go there. Now he chips inside the centre square to Galloway. He handballs back to Crane, who kept running. He drives the ball forward to half forward, but Jackson Bell slips inside Cormac and takes an uncontested mark. He had O'Brien in the middle of the ground, had someone on his hammer, so he kicks the ball in front of Harrop. It sits for him. He handballs long over the top. Not a bad handball to Mulholland. He's got Stewart riding shotgun. In he comes on his left boot. Good kick. Over the top of Lanigan's head now. Who's going to win the race of footy? Horsman picks up the loose ball, goes to Gorder. Good handball. He comes, switches to this top side now. He's got Jones on his own. Versace running for him. Gives him the handball. Probably not the best option. Now they're under all sorts. Harry Jones wraps up Versace. That could be dropping the ball. No, the umpire just had enough.
That was Versace stopped a little bit on the way through, and Jones picked him up in the last. So I can't see Princey out there, John, which would be a big blow if he's not.
So up they go, Pedley and Jones. Pedley wins the knockdown. Millam couldn't take it. Mulholland gets it. He handballs to Jones. He's going to drive that ball inside 50. Collard in the best spot. Can't mark it. Versace gets a fist in. Good work there by the big fella in Zahaf. South Bunbury's handball smothered. Kelvin Lawrence takes the ball out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in about 30 metres around on this top side of the Carey Park goal. They'll be needing to keep this ball in this area and trying to score, Croney.
Yeah, well, they need to put just a bit to get themselves back into it. I mean, it's a modern day game. Anything's possible. Yeah, we've seen that last week.
Well, we've seen Sydney come from about 6 goals behind Geelong today and blow them out of the water in the end. So Ruckman go to it. Lawrence throws it over his shoulder. Bell's wrapped up. Picked up by Rory O'Brien.
There's
chucks it on the try, and there it is. Is it swinging? It is, but not enough. Stays to the right-hand side.
That goalpost swings a bit in the wind, doesn't it? It's whether you've got him on the outward swing or the inward swing.
Wasn't a bad effort. He just needed another half a step then, and he would have lined it up properly, and she would have been all over. But anyway, they
thanks to the Bank of Queensland too, Johnny.
Yep, very good sponsors, all our sponsors, as we say, Croney. Without them, the show doesn't go on the road, and very fortunate that everyone puts their hand up and puts their money, hands in their pocket to.
Great support for the South West Football League, isn't it?
Yep, they certainly are. So Goyder is going to bring this ball back in. 66 plays 26, early stages of the third quarter. He plays on now. He covers yards straight down the middle of the ground.
That's the way
That's
to
a
get
great
it down
kick
there.
Towards Lane. Lane's in front, off hands. Jackson Bell's wrapped up now. You want to get rid of it? He does. Onto the boot it goes. Rory O'Brien, he's outnumbered. Jones for South Bunbury takes a loose ball. Handballs towards the player in Bain. He goes wide to Pickett. He chips that ball down to Cormac. He's loose. He's got a paddock. He has one bounce. He can have another one if he wants. He elects to kick the ball inside 50. Misses everyone. Oh, well done there by Waldrott. Cut inside Orsi. Now he handballs towards Johnson. Picked up there by Nordell. That goes up and under. If it doesn't rain, well, it'll probably snow. It's gone that high. Number of players around the footy. Picked up there by Cormac. He's taken. That's dropping the ball. Yep. Good call, young umpire. You're in a good position. Right in front of the scoreboard. Player there in Cam Baker. He chips out wide to Harrop. Got to keep running, son. You've got to make something happen. But he elects to go back and take his kick in front of Bain. hard up against the boundary line. He drives that ball down the wing. It wobbles, it floats, and Rory O'Brien gets front position. Tries to get a loose ball out wide towards Horsey. He's wrapped up in a tackle. He's slung to the ground. The umpire calls play on. South through Nordell. He's got Bain in front. He elects to kick the ball down the line. That's going to go out on full, isn't it? No, Bourne makes good yards to take the ball, is it? Yep, it is a mark.
Yep, right under the scoreboard.
I thought the umpire was pointing at the boundary.
Gee, I'll tell you what, if he kicks this, he can just... We'll give him the Western All Pair Services goal of the day.
It's funny. We've had a couple of shots from there. Jones kicked a good one. Lanigan missed one, but set up a goal from there. So, Bourne for his fourth just sits it up. It ain't going to get the journey. It's going to go out on full, is it? No, it's spoilt through for a behind.
Princey's the one that's not out there for South Bunbury, John, which is...
I can't see who these young guys are on the bench.
And I don't think he come to the bench as Pedley will heads to the bench. Harvey Norman interchange bench.
She's out of bounds on that far side, on the South Bunbury forward pocket favouring the scoreboard side. So that's almost a high tackle against Chitty there. He's taken ruck duties. Cormac picks up. He goes one way, the other. Handball's back to Crane. He's kicked smothered. The Carey Park player there from Delello, I think it is. He goes one way. He's wrapped up. Gets a handball straight to Cade Waldrott. He says, thank you very much. Check sides that. Screws it over his shoulder. And he is, what's it done? Is it on the full or is it a...
Good sized player too, Cade Waldrott, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
not small.
The umpire's now debating. They can't go to video replay. It's actually, the young girl's called out of bounds on the full. That's good. Take control. Make a decision. That's
yeah,
what
I like that.
see.
Call it like you see it.
Yep. So Carey Park go down that far side, through the hands of Nordell. Out the back there's, I'm not sure who that was. I was going to say Cormac. It wasn't Cormac. He's player in Goyder's taking the ball. No, you just dropped it yourself there, Tommy.
Good try, Tommy, but that ain't going to cut it.
Swings onto his left boot. He goes to about 30 metres out. The player there, that was Gallagher. Couldn't take the mark above his head, but as comes out, Versace's camped under a loose ball. He's going to take an uncontested mark, and he does. He handballs wide to Sawyer. He's on his wrong foot, but he chips inside, and he's got the captain there in Chitty all on his own. He's going to kick from about 50 metres out. He goes into the pocket to Crane. He's about 35 metres out. Now, will he make the distance with the cyclone behind him?
Yeah, he'll make the distance. That's one thing the little fella can do, is kick a distance.
Well,
but
he's going to kick from probably 40 metres by the time he runs in. Pretty tight angle, but
Adam Hunter's got him back. Maybe.
In he comes. He's crept a yard around and just shallow to the left, has it? No, it's gone over that went left and it's come back right and it's gone straight over the goal umpire's head in the end. I was watching to see if he'd give us a salute and he did, and I thought, well, it has stayed left, but when I looked at the goal umpire, he was leaning back like he had a six-pack already, and straight over his head it went.
Yeah, very good goal by the little fella.
Yeah, it was a good goal. They go to 11-6-72. They lead Carey Park 4-26. So the game is well and truly getting out of reach for Carey Park, and Chitty, it's not Chitty, is it? It's, Jones hobbles his way to the bench, and on goes Siska. So he'll be looking to have a
see if I can get a bit of information on Lachlan Princey, because he is a very, very good player, and I just haven't seen him come back out onto the ground.
I mean, if they had any sort of niggle or whatever, you wouldn't bother anyway. The game was pretty much done at half time, and you want to butter up next week. Back in the middle of the ground they go. Ruckman go to it. So number of players wrapped up here. Baines wrapped up. It's pretty willing right in the middle of the ground, and we'll have another ball up again there.
Sorry, that's Lachlan Riley I've been talking about.
Riley.
Yeah, Lachlan
number
Riley.
7. Yeah, you're right, Craney.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him. I did see him hobble on the far side just before half time. So.
But he has, I've just been informed he's got a finger injury.
Oh, yes. I've seen him walking up here with it going the opposite direction. So we're in the middle of the ground. We've got a scrap on here, and it's at Milham. He's not going anywhere. The umpire said give it back. Again, we go up. Jones, good knockdown, but Chitty bulldozes his way through.
He did bullnose his way through.
He certainly did. He handballed that towards Goyder. Everyone's left the ball. Rory O'Brien said, I'll pick it up. He chips inside to a stagnant forward line. Versace comes out and meets it. Now his teammate there in... can't see who that was. That's going to be in the back, is it? Stewart tries to paddle the ball out. Number of players around it. Versace, he goes low and picks up the footy. He can't take it. Now the stack's on. Zahaf goes in. So the big boys get in there and wrap it up. I've just missed young Num Baskerville it was, who was met heavily in the initial contest. Jones, good knock over the top. No one can pick it up. Again, a loose ball pinged out. Chitty goes low. He's taken high. Play on's a call. Jones for Carey Park. Handballs to Milham. He just screws that over his shoulder. In the box seat there is a good mark by Hawes. Horsman. The umpire paid a push.
He's been pretty good back down there, Benny Horsman.
Yeah, he's been very strong. He's read the ball well. So he handballs to Goiter on the wrong side for a left footer. But he goes long on the left on that far side. But Carey Park have the numbers. Out there is Jones. He comes back inside. Not much to kick to. A horrible kick, but O'Brien plays in front as you do. And he's taken a mark way outside his range, I would think. He's marked about 45 out. He chips over top to Kelvin Lawrence. That's a lot closer. He plays on. Not sure if he's called to play on. He screws that around. He's got a major. So fairly handy goal there to the Panthers. And Kelvin Lawrence puts his second, I think it is, Craney, through for the day.
His second, that's right. He's pretty classy when he gets that around. Started the game off pretty well.
He started like a house on fire.
And then drifted out a little bit. And then here's kick 2 for the afternoon. So
I'm not sure if he was called to play on or not, but he knew where the goal was.
It was a little bit short.
Yep, 11-6-72, plays 5-3-33, so a handy, 49-point lead still. So the Panthers having trouble biting into this lead, and South just seem to have the answers.
They're a very miserly defensive unit, aren't they?
Yeah, it was a good mark, or ended up being a free kick to Horsman there. He just stood strong under the ball. He knew there was, obviously something was going to be coming because the kick was to a lead, and as I said, he put his body in the way. He's a big boy, and he took the whack and took the kick. So Crane gets onto a loose ball out of the middle of the ground. He wheels around onto his right boot. He goes to a leading Nordell. Good mark above the head. That was a real good
fingers,
mark.
That was strong.
It certainly was in these conditions. He plays on. Johnson comes out. Don't get in his way because he spilt the mark. But I tell you what,
I reckon he might have a kick there. Slammed him into the dirt. He's like a freight train when he gets out and forward in there.
I was just trying to see I think it was Mulholland going back, and I think if he hits him, it's going to be like a bug on a windscreen, and he's just going to get splatterated. But he...
Tell you what, that's how you get a centre break, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a good takeaway from young Craney there. He wheeled, didn't give anyone a chance of laying a hand on him, and just got the ball moving very quickly, and now Blaine Johnson goes back, and he slips through number 4, and they move to 12-6-78, leading Carey Park 5-2. 32.
They have all the answers, the Tigers, at the moment. Every time the Panthers work very, very hard to get a goal, it just slips out, and that goal come within a couple of seconds, didn't it, really? It was just come a bit easier.
It was
after
too easy,
that hard work.
Too easy out of the middle of the ground. Like, it wasn't a clear ruck knock, a winning ruck knock to hit it to a spot.
I don't think I've ever seen two younger Southwest Football League ruckmen going head-to-head as the number 1 ruckman. I've seen a few come in after the sort of second change, but it's been an interesting duel for Southern Lock and Security, those two going head-to-head.
Yeah, they've cracked in pretty well for their teams, so it's up to the guys on the ground to take it away, and that was a perfect takeaway then. So back at it again, Jones and Pedley. Jones this time, he goes again. Lawrence is going to run on it, is he? Not sure where to go. So a number of players dive in there. Jones and Pedley, the two ruckmen, become the two rovers, and we'll have a ball up right almost in the middle of the ground again. So up they go. Who's going to take a sentence? Here's a hold there, and who's going to win the free kick? Jones for Carey Park. He was the recipient. So he'll drive his team forward. What's he got on offer? Not a hell of a lot. So he goes inside. Oh, good mark there by Hutchins in front of Goiter. Right at centre forward, he gets the ball moving quickly. Zahaf's got the box seat here, but a good mark, almost a good mark by Versace. Good roving there by Delalio. Won't sit for him. He does pick it up. He tries to squeeze the ball out towards Lanningham. He can't take it. South Bunbury player over the top of the footy. Play on's the call. Horsman's got the ball below his line on the ground, and the umpire says, give it here. He was in a good spot to see it all unfold.
We're still looking for a CPR outdoor centre mark of the day. That would have been very close. Versace nearly had that.
Yeah, that was a good effort. Waldrop
we might have to pay on effort today, mate.
There's not too much happening, so almost at the on the paint of the 50 for the Panthers in their attacking area. Ball up. Players slipping and sliding. The soccer goes through from Cormac. He can't clear. In there is the helmet of Ziska, picked up by Waldrop. He's well wrapped up there by Tetlow, and we'll have a ball up again almost in the same spot. On the 50-metre arc for the Panthers in their attacking zone. Number of players wrapped up there. Here's Jackson Bell. He can't win the footy out. He's well wrapped up there by Horsman, and we'll have another ball up. Bit of a stalemate here. 12-6-78, plays 5-2-32 at the 13.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Cormac's going to win the race of footy. He goes low. He can't take the footy. Bell punches it forward, and she beats all players across the line out of bounds. We'll have a throw in about 55 metres out from the Carey Park goal on this top side.
Let's just slip around the grounds too, thanks to Geograph Civil. Bunbury 9-5, they've got a handy lead over Donnybrook 6-1, and Dunsborough 7 goals 3 lead Harvey Bulls 5 goals 8, so not much in that game either.
Boundary throw in. Oh, through there comes Hughes. He's going to be dropping the ball there. Play on. In there went Ziska. He can't take it. Bourne. It's Lawrence. Lawrence paddles it forward. He can't pick up a loose ball. She rolls out of bounds. At least it's in front of us, Craney. We can see everyone quite clearly.
Too far.
It's been here for a couple of minutes. So Carey Park would like to get this ball moving.
You do well without the binoculars. I'll have to give you credit.
Guessiology. Throw it in, the umpire does. They go at it again. Pedley hits the ball forward. Lawrence again, take two. He's going to win the race and he's going to paddle it back to the young lass.
Deja vu, mate.
So makes her job nice and easy, and we'll have another ball in at the same place, same time, same place. So 78 plays 32 as we managed almost 15-minute mark of the third quarter. So Zahav and Pedley, they lock up. Zahav hits that ball forward. Jackson Bell onto his left boot, just slams that up and under. Who's underneath it? Jones. Good effort. Oh, well done there by young Hutchins, but you can't push off 1, 2 and 3. South. Oh, Galloway, he's stripped of the ball as he goes to take his kick. Hutchins to Bell. He's wrapped up by Waldrop. Ooh, a bit unlucky there. Did he have an opportunity or not? But anyway.
I tell you what, poor old Belly, every time he's got it today, he's got absolutely crunched.
Yeah, Siska picks up a ball. He handballs quickly to Bourne. He has a bounce. He goes one way, gets around O'Brien. He has another bounce. He drives that ball long towards half forward. At the back is Nordell. Just worked. Oh, well done by Mulholland. I thought Nordell worked him under the ball, but Mulholland had the extra reach. He just chips inside. That's a dangerous kick because Waldrop, he had that telegraph to him. Anyway, the handball from Crane comes out to Bourne. He goes one way or the other. He beats 2. He beats 3. Waldrop onto the right boot. And it falls into the lap of Harrop. He goes wide to Payne. Payne drifts, switches that ball to the scoreboard pocket. Looks like Jones is it. He goes down to the wing. In front there is Cormac and takes the intercept mark.
Terrific return from Cormac after injury. He's had 4 odd weeks off.
He's had plenty of the ball today, that's for sure. He feigns one way and then he drives towards the scoreboard pocket. Out comes Mulholland. He can't take the mark. Brings the ball. Sammy Brown picks up, drives it back down that far side in front of
landed
Cormac
very heavily, Mulholland down there, taking a bit to get up.
So on that far wing, we'll have a ball in. As we said, 78 plays 32. And Carey Park are trying, but all in vain at this point in time.
Thanks to the Bank of Queensland, Bunbury.
Yep. A couple of young blokes out there. We see the Rising Stars. Who sponsor that? Garage Outdoor, is it? No, it's...
Hemp Brothers. West Australia's most trusted Hemp Brothers. There's a few young fellas putting their hands up. These 2 ruckmen are 2 in particular.
Yep. So Carey Park scrum the ball forward. Young Halloran, he picks up the footy. He gives it to an outside runner there. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was young Jones. Did his teammate take the mark there? Lanigan, low, and no, the umpire said give it here. We'll have a ball up. So 55, 60 metres out from the Carey Park goal on that far side, on that dead flank. So everyone misses it. Socket off the ground by a South Bunbury player. Chitty, he can't bring the ball in with the one hand and it rolls out of bounds.
I'm going to give a conditions report thanks to garage doors too, John. Cold.
Cold, and the seagulls are flying high. At least they won't unload on us where we're sitting, Craney.
No, they come in a bit thick there for a minute.
So boundary throw in. Oh, Zahaf goes high. Ball hits the ground. Pedley dives in on top. And the umpire said, give it here. We'll take
You're
2.
right, the game has sort of come to a bit of a standstill.
Yeah, she's a bit of a grind. It was in front of us for 5 minutes going nowhere. Now she's stuck on that far side doing the same thing. So it's been willing. Zahaf, the backhander, goes down. His teammate wraps it up, but he's set upon. And we're going to have a ball up again. Jackson Bell comes out of the huddle. Here we go again. So Hap's going to take 2 down the Bell. He can't take it. Pedley dives in. Number of players squeezes out. Who's out there? Tetlow. He handballs outside. It's Delello. He handballs outside to Jones, is it? No, it's Hutchins. He drives the ball inside towards Lanigan. Takes a bounce. It goes well. Horsman just pushes him off the line of the ball. He squeezes that ball forward. Picked up there by Hughes. On the left foot, he's got young Hallahan all on his own. Takes a good mark 35 metres out from the
Nice
hole.
bit of vision by Hughes then.
It was. He
could have blazed, but
yeah.
he didn't. He's seen Hallahan just drifting into the pocket by himself. This would be good confidence for the young fella too.
Yeah, he's had a quiet day today. He had a good day last week.
We give him the rising star actually 1 week.
He's very handy, so he comes in, deliberate shot at goal, keeps it low, probably too low. Big Collard, good spoil there from Versace. Whacks that over the line and it's gone through for a minor score. And they move to 5-3-33, trail 12-6-78. So having trouble hitting the big numbers on the scoreboard at Carey Park. So the kick comes out towards Bain from Goyder. He turns and goes down to that far wing. What's he got out there? Bourne. He's come back into the game into this third quarter. He takes the mark in front of Milham. Maybe they're running with him. Out it comes towards lane. He just works his opponent in Axel under the footy, and he'll go back and take a direct shot on goal. That was a real good bit of body
Young
work
Lane
there,
is
Carey.
loving his footy, isn't he? You can see he's got a real enjoyment about it. Got plenty of pace. He's got a bit of nous about him too, because the kick was pretty good for him. It just had enough carry, so it was heading over the top. He just put his body to block it and take a good mark.
He just seems to bob up in the right spots. He doesn't cover a hell of a lot of ground, but he's one of them forwards that just knows where the ball's going to drop. In he comes from about 45 metres out. Crosses the front of the face of the goal. Good mark there by Cam Baker for Carey Park.
I'm going to give him mark of the day.
That was a good mark, actually. That was.
We're
We haven't seen too much above the head, but that other Nordell's, that was probably the only other one where they've stood tall. So he comes there down the line. Oh, Hughes goes too early. That should be a free kick, and as it is, and it's paid to, who's got that, Bain in the green boots. He wheels and goes. Johnson said, get it. No, it's Lane at the back there. Can he take two? No, and Payne couldn't take the mark. It's beaten all. The ball carried a bit further then. Another behind. So 12-7 to 79. Leads at 5-3. The scoreboard hasn't been updated. On the monitor it's 5-4-34. So for that we'll go with there.
We'll go with Dean Lomax.
Yep, he's on the job. Mulholland takes a good mark in the pack there. So he handballs to Lawrence. What's he going to do? He's going to have a bounce. He can have another one if he wants. Not much ahead of him. Versace's going to say, Collard comes out and cleans up. Sawyer picks up a loose ball. Good contest there. DeLello, well, they're all throwing himself around. Picked up there by Lanigan. He's going to run to 50. He kicks the ball inside. It's loose to the goal square. Is he going to get the home roll? No, he's not. Young Hallahan's going to run on a loose ball, and he kicks it straight into the goal post.
He kicked the post and then punched the point post.
Unlucky young fella. He's just a little bit unlucky there. He done everything right and probably could have handballed back to Rory O'Brien, but when you're that close to home, you own the situation and try and make the best of it. Well, the Panthers have another chance to come forward. Good tackle there. Good hard tackle on Tetlow, and the umpire says, give it here. He was wrapped up there by Blake Pickett at half back.
That's what Blake Pickett brings to that wing. He's a really good tackler, isn't he? He's fierce at that contest.
Yeah, he started off pretty well. I mean, in these conditions, you sort of float in and out of the game depending on where the game's being played. It gets stuck on one side, and if you're on the other side, the ball doesn't sort of come to your area a hell of a lot. But he's worked fairly hard today. Good knock there by Jones for Carey Park. Over the top, right, picks it up. That would, if you called the other one deliberate, you'd have to call that deliberate.
Yeah, I think.
And he's going to pay it? No, he says throw it in. Well, anyway, it is what it is, I suppose.
That's a strange rule. Even in the AFL, that's a strange rule, that deliberate. Some of those kicks where it bounces at right angles.
You'll see next year in the AFL, if it comes off a boot, it'll be a free kick. If it's rolled out, then it'll be thrown in.
You think that'll come in?
Oh, it's going that way. There's just too much conjecture over it. They're paying nearly every one of them now anyway, so they might as well just do it. It just takes the grey areas out of it. Anyway.
We can't do that, mate. It'll make it too simple if we took the grey areas out of it.
Yeah, exactly. People wouldn't have jobs. Boundary throw in. A loose ball now picked up by Jones. Good forward handball to Crane. He bursts through the middle of the ground. He got Blaine Johnson on the fat side. As easy as you like. A training drill almost. And Johnson comes out, takes the mark about 45 metres out on a very slight angle. He's got the cross breeze on the right side of him, if that makes sense.
They've got a pretty good understanding, Crane and Johnson, at the moment.
You could just see that handball from Jones was about a 20-metre forward handball, and I was looking forward to see what was coming, and Johnson just led to the fat side. There was nothing there but space, and Crane put the kick and made him work onto it, and in he comes for number 4. What will he do? No, he didn't get... Oh, he has. He has, Craney.
How would you describe that? I'll describe that.
That's just drifted. He's got the late...
That was going to miss by all intents and purposes.
That was going straight through the middle of the points.
Yeah, and then just took a right angle, swerved back in to the goals.
I think it even surprised yourself. So I was watching his body language. He almost started shaking his head.
It's on the replay. Look at this swing at the last minute. That's worth a watch. Have a look at that back when you get 5 minutes on the SEN app. Hope you're enjoying the footy on the SEN app too.
13-7-85 plays 5. We'll go 5-5 on the monitor 35. So
as
50.
The lights are starting up at hands over because it's getting very dull on a Sunday afternoon.
23 and a half minutes into the third quarter. Back in the middle of the ground. And, that was something you see.
Well, you had to see that to believe it. We were right behind that one, John.
We certainly were. Ruckman missed it. Jackson Bell's going to go on it. He's tackled. Ball goes to straight up and down. Milham can't take it. Hughes is in there. He just gets it on the boot as he's tackled. Up and under it goes. Blake Piggott. That was a good.
Grab.
Did he mark it? I just couldn't see there. He has. He's marked it now. He's going to switch play out towards Chitty. He's got a runner in Jones. A handball should have went over top. The short kick does now. So what's he doing? He's got right on the outside. He's running now. He's going to cut back in. Johnson comes up at the footy. This is up and under. It's not a lace out line. Oh, well done there by Lane and I think it was Payne. Ball's on the deck now, and we'll have
that
a
was
ball
Johnson's fifth of the afternoon
was
too,
it
John.
5, was it?
So that's not bad. As I said, I wasn't going to put that down the last minute.
And he missed a couple of sodas, so he's had a pretty good afternoon. So just inside the attacking 50 for South Bunbury, picked up there by Milham, I think it was. He's tackled Hughes. He can't take it. He goes one way or the other, gets a handball out. Hutchins, he tries to break a tackle. He does. He drives the ball down this swing in front of us. Lanigan, he can't take a mark. Now South have the numbers. Picked up there by Sawyer. He throws the ball towards Horsman. He's now given the ball to Galloway. Oh, well done by young Houlihan. He's got Collard, who didn't chase, but he's going to be the recipient. Well, is it going to bounce for him? He's on the left boot. He just rolls that towards the goals, and he's got his second. He made hard work of it, the big fella. He can't turn on a 2-bob bit, but he got the end result that he wanted. And they chip away again. They move to 6-5-41, trailing 13-7-85. So it doesn't matter how you get them, Croney, as long as you get them.
No, that's right. They're only going to go through those big sticks. I thought that ball was actually going to bounce away from him again. He's had a couple like that this afternoon. He got a horrible bounce there. Controlled it pretty well in the end.
He didn't panic. That was the main thing.
Then put us through. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. And the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Fight back a little bit, but gee, they've got a lot of work to do. As said, the lights are starting to take a bit of effect. That's how gloomy it is at Hands Oval.
Yep, she's going to be a long afternoon. And it's only 4:35, so we'll be out of here. The game won't finish till probably 10 or 5:15, which is fairly late.
On a Sunday afternoon, yes.
Just lucky it wasn't 3 o'clock start.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, back in the middle of the ground, Crane, he's wrapped up. Lawrence goes in, pushes everyone out of the way, squeezes a handball forward. Rory O'Brien's taken high.
He saw you did that well.
He did. He picks up a loose ball and just tries to bring rain. Wall drops in the front spot. He's got Cormac running with him. Handball's inside to Cormac. He wasn't really expecting that. Picked up there by Crane. He goes one way or the other. Comes back towards Piggott. He drives the ball to centre half forward. Out comes, is it Lane? That was a great mark. That was a real good mark in front of Payne, I think it was. He goes on the left foot. In there, is it Chitty all on his own or Jones, one or the other? Once he
tell
gets
you
up,
what, the pickup by young Crane in that pack there was pretty
very,
handy
very
too
slick.
On a day.
Very slick. He's had a good afternoon.
You do stuff like that. That gets the opposition sort of off foot a bit, doesn't it? Because they're all moving in the direction you think it's going to go. And
they're hoping you're going to paddle it instead of picking it up, and it gives them
an
extra half a second.
It's that one grab ball handling, isn't it, that makes the difference.
So Chitty, he's about 30 metres out directly in front. He's going to make this, if it wasn't sealed before, he's going to put this way beyond doubt. So he goes in and kicks a captain's goal. That goes straight through the middle from about 35 metres out. They go to 14-7-91, leading 6-5-41. A handy 50-point lead. And do
you know the difference between South Bunbury of last year and South Bunbury of this year? South Bunbury were winning with 8 or 9 goals scored a game. This year's totally different. So they've upped the goal kicking. And if you look at the spread of goal kickers through the South Bunbury side, you know, they relied a bit on Coleman last year, but they've just spread the goals. Even though their full forwards got 5 again, there's a lot of different goal kickers.
Well, we were saying before, the difference was it was one way, all or nothing, no option 2 or 3, where now there's, like you said, there's different options. They're prepared to lower their eyes or look wider, not just in one spot. And it you know, it's good when a guy can kick you 10 every week or kick you 100 for the year, but when you've got other options and you say the scoreboard lights up,
it's too hard for the opposition coach to close up.
Yeah, you can't stop them all. It's easy to stop one, doesn't matter how as good as he was, when you know where the ball's going all the time. But in the middle of the ground,
I'd have him my side any day.
Oh, definitely. You're not going to knock that back. So, ball's up, and we have a secondary bounce. Jones for Carey Park. Bourne throws that through to Cormac. Play on's the call. Crane picks up another ball, goes back. Heard the call from Piggott. Piggott goes one way or the other. Stewart wraps him up. Play on. There's going to be a free kick, is there, to Blake Piggott? Yep, held without the footy. Oh, he's going to reverse that, is he? No. The umpire didn't buy into it. So at high half forward, he goes inside. Out comes a Lane again, is it, or Johnson?
Johnson again.
Is it? Yep.
Gee, he leads it under.
He does lead hard.
I love that. He just holds back. But it's all about the timing of the lead, isn't it? A lot of forwards you see lead that little split second too early. He waits till the ball carrier that's actually ready to hit his boot before he makes that lead. That's why he gets that metre-odd break.
And if you're going to get in the hole, you're going to get hit. So
you're going to know you're there.
Right in front of the scoreboard, he's going to kick from. He goes back on it. And I tell you what, Croney, that's number... it's just shallowed onto the left.
He's kicked about 5 goals, hasn't he?
Well, he missed 2 up this end in the second quarter.
He's had a lot of shots for goal.
So Carey Park bring the ball out on this top side. Payne comes along towards Baker and Mulholland. Who's going to win the footy? Mulholland stands tall and takes a mark in the middle of the pack. He handballs. He's trying to get the game going. Milham, he just hacks that ball in the middle of the ground. Well done there by the South Bunbury player in Baskerville. Off hands it goes. Bourne picks up a loose ball. Johnson in the box seat again. They're 25 metres out, directly in front. I don't think he'll make a mistake of this one, Croney. I think you can put down number 7, or was it 6?
6, I reckon
we'll count this.
So that ball use there, Bourne, they've just got class everywhere, haven't they? I mean, look at someone like Cole Sawyer in that back line. He's had a fantastic day today. They just used the ball very well. Bourne very good again then.
Yep. And Johnson puts...
hang on.
He doesn't want to get 6. That's just kept going on its travels across the face of
goal. That had
a
fair swing to it too, didn't it?
Yeah. We can't be too harsh on it because we see the trees are gusting and...
Oh, it is not...
easy for me. Everyone from here goes in. We haven't missed one yet.
I call Lockie Riley Lockie Princey, so...
Yeah, he'll love you for that.
Yeah, Lockie Riley. We hope his finger's all right. I must have got it taken up and had a little bit of a look at.
Payne through down the middle of the ground. It's all South Bunbury. Bourne's going to pick up a loose ball. He handballs to Goyder. Goyder just turns and gives it back to Bourne. He's set upon. Well done there by Carey Park through Lawrence. He's picked up the footy there by Jones. He hacks it back, but Dommy Goyder's just standing all on his own mind, his own business, almost in the middle of the ground. He's going to drive the Tigers into attack again. Goes long on that trusty left foot. Lane this time. He's surrounded by Panthers. At the back, there's a free kick. Who's it paid to?
Lane.
He had 3-on-1, and you give away a kick for a hold. There's obviously no talk in the contest. Right on the siren. He'll go back and have a deliberate shot at goal.
You're right about John. He was surrounded by Panthers there, and there was only South Bunbury bloke there, and he got the kick. So let's see what Lane can do after the siren as he moves in for a shot at goal. He can do something.
Going to push across. No, it kept drifting and it hasn't. Well, it has. It's been rolled over the line from behind. So 14.
On the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, it is 14. They just took that down, John.
14-10, 94 to 6-5-41. We'll see if there's an adjustment by the goal umpires to the scoreboard.
They go through.
Mr. Lomax is out.
While they do that, thanks to KFC and our great mates at Dale Alcock Homes, we're going to have a quick break and then we'll be back for the final quarter of this clash. Welcome back to Hands Oval. This is SEN's coverage of the Southwest Football League. If you look at the scoreboard, it is South Bunbury 14-10-94. They lead the Panthers by 6-5-41, so quite a considerable margin for the South Bunbury Football Club. They've been very, very good this afternoon. A lot of their good players have got their hands on the ball, but I think the key to South Bunbury this year, John, is the all over. There's not too many weak links in it, and if you hold one player, the other player gets away from you.
Yeah, they've been pretty good today. I said last week it was too much for too few, and they were lucky they got over the line, where today's been a different performance. The conditions haven't been easy for anyone, but across the board they've attacked the ball and just opened the game up on their terms, and Carey Park just haven't been able to counter-attack.
Give them Carey Park their due. They've thrown a fair bit at this contest, haven't they? They just haven't quite finished it, and credit to South Bunbury's defence. They're very miserly. As soon as it goes in that back line, their rebound is very, very quick.
Yeah, there just hadn't been enough pressure on the ball when it's got in there to keep it in. And
umpires just about ready to start the final quarter. This is SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta.
So Zahaf and Pedley squeeze a handball out towards Cormac, just whacks it onto the right boot and up and under the half-forward Wardright. The fist comes from Baker. Lawrence picks up a loose ball. He just turns and drives his right foot down towards, but Versace's going to take an uncontested mark at half-back. He's got Bain running loose on this wing. He takes an uncontested mark. What's he do? He comes back inside to Cormac.
He's worked out pretty well, Bain.
Yeah. So the handball goes back to Bain. He's run. He's seen all sorts
they're
of
in
trouble now.
now.
It's good squeezing handball through to Pedley. Mulholland's going to win the race back. No, he gets a dirty bounce. Picked up there by Chitty. He tries to fend off. That's dropping the ball. He made no contact with that. And well done there by Jackson Bell. So right in front of us, Craney, on this wing area. What's he going to do? He's going to go down the line. Not a lot of movement. Big fella is a half. That's a silly play by young Hutchins there. There was never going to get hands on that footy. He's just giving away a free kick, and Tom Goyder's going to take the easiest free kick he's ever got. Now he's going to get 50 metres as well. There's no point arguing about that because the free kick was telegraphed.
Even if it's wrong and it's against you, why argue? Yeah. I mean, I've never seen one just change them. Actually, I did at Eton the other day. They give away 50.
Pedley handballs to Cormac, and he just drills Blaine Johnson from about 18 metres and almost puts a hole in his chest. Johnson's going to take about his fourth shot from this same spot.
Are we going to write it down this time?
Oh, I reckon he's going to give it off because he doesn't want to miss. And he's kicked it to, is it Jones? No, it's Sawyer. So Sawyer's taken a mark about 35, 40 metres out.
I spoke about this, Cole Sawyer. He is a very good footballer, maybe a little underrated by opposition players, but he covers a lot of ground. He's got good skills. Waldrock gives him a bit of lead there, but he's having none of that. No, he's going to have a crack.
It's glory time. The game's sewing up, so they're all going to... She's up and under. What's it going to do? It's going to hold up. No, she's going to squeeze through for a behind. So 14-11. Plays 6-5. Payne, he goes one way and then he takes Bourne on. He drives his left foot into it. Just a horrible floating kick, but well done there by Tetlow. Slid in. Now he's taken high. He's going to get the free kick. No good fighting about it. Just get your kick and go back, son.
No, Cormac copped there. It was a fend off,
was it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he drives towards Bain at the top of the Payneham 50 at centre half forward. Too far out to score. Johnson comes out. He slips over. He comes out again. Is he going to kick to him? No, he's going to go over the back. Who's over the back? It's 2-on-2. Nordell's in the box. Great leap there. Almost a big mark.
There you go. The crowd go up.
That would have been a great mark. It would have been the winner of the mark of the day, that's for sure.
He won the Western All-Purse, the CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day last week, did young Lane.
Yep.
And very nigh got it again.
Down comes Zahaf taking the mark.
No one was standing in front of Big Zane then,
no,
were
they weren't going to get... bug on the windscreen.
That's a clever kick.
There's a good kick towards
half.
Jones. He wants to keep running. He drives that ball towards Lanigan. He wants to play from behind. Versace gets a hand on the ball. Galloway runs onto the loose footy, top of the goal square. He just switches to the left. He's got a player out there all on his own. It bounces. It keeps rolling in front of Sawyer. He's going to run on a loose ball at half back. He's looking up towards the wing area. What's he got in front of him? Just kicks that up and over and towards Blake Pickett. He takes a good mark above his head. Now he's got inside, he's got Bain running hard. He takes a mark on high half forward. He runs inside. Oh, well done there by Lawrence. Puts the pressure on. Blaine Johnson runs on the loop ball. He just goes inside out. Check sides the right foot. You don't get the easy ones, but you kick them ones, Craney. That's how you do it. Straight through the middle, she's rolled. Blaine Johnson puts number 6 on the board, and that there would be very close to being goal of the day.
Do you want to give that the Western All-First
Service goal of the
day?
That was... he knew what he was doing. It wasn't I'll just have a crack and just... pray for luck. He actually, I'd say he's done it once or twice before. But in the context of the game and the conditions, it was a very clever goal. And
once again, though, his attack on the footy
he's
is
aggressive.
What you like,
he's
isn't
very
it?
aggressive. Like I say, if you stand in the hole in front of him, you're going to know that you went somewhere you shouldn't have went. Well, you got to go there because it's courage.
It's in the mental of the backman too, because no matter, you can be brave enough to push back into a hole, but if you know he's coming 100 mile an hour, it's still going to play on your mind.
I haven't seen a bloke do that since Shane Narney, and I've seen a lot of guys go home on a Sunday night with a very sore back and neck for being, say stupid, but getting in that hole and just being hit by a freight train. Carey Park win or not. Good pick up there by, I think it was Tetlow. He's wrapped up in by a number of South players, and we'll do it again.
Tell you what, the Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the game, I think it's the way South Bunbury have been tackling all game.
Yeah, they've done pretty well. Zahaf again, he hits the ball forward. O'Brien's beaten to the footy. This time, everyone's over it. Piggott can't take it. In there went Crane. He flicks the ball to Main. He's come to life, drills that forward. Nordell can't take him out. Harrop rats him on. He goes one way or the other. So what's he going to do? He handballs wide to Chitty. Chitty runs through half forward. Gives that ball towards Bourne. He just rolls that up his arm. Puts the afterburners on, and he goes bang.
Bang, there you go.
That was as simple and as silky as you would see.
If we're going to go for the Western All-Pair Services goal of the day, that's very, very close.
He watched that ball roll up his arm. He didn't panic. He didn't break stride. He just laced out to the goal umpire and said, have a piece of that.
Wow, that was sensational to say the least. If you're on the SEN app, you have a look at the replay here. He just had total control of that, turned, made sure of it, and went bang.
And at no stage did he try and break stride to balance up. He was balanced. He knew what he was doing. He knew where he was going, and there was no hope of stopping him there.
No, that's just icing on the cake. Wow, that was impressive. They lit the crowd up around us anyway.
Yep. It unfolded. You could see it was unfolding once he had the run of the footy, and he put it to bed. So back in the middle of the ground, 16-12, 108, plays 6-5-41. Lawrence can't get the kick away. Number of players over as Half picks up. He's wrapped up by Pickett in the middle of the ground, and we'll stop and start again as we tick into the 6-minute mark of the last quarter. Zahaf, he goes himself. He throws that to his teammate there in Delalo, and he's wrapped up, and we'll have another ball up in the middle of the ground.
And I can tell you for Geograph Civil that Bunbury have defeated Donnybrook 12-7-79 to Donnybrook, 9 goals to 56. And looks like Harvey Bulls will defeat Dunsborough at Dunsborough.
Couple of good results there. So
not really. I tipped the other way.
Did you?
I picked the one up at AMR, but
so South Bunbury Pickett drives towards half forward. Out there's Crane. He's had a field day today. He goes over the top towards Bain. He's started to collect them in this last quarter as well. He goes low towards Bourne. He can't take it. Out comes Tyson Lane. Oh, great pick up below his knees for a taller fellow. Oh, Blaine Johnson just catapulted into the ground as he kicks it. Jones for South Bunbury stands under it.
He actually meant that, Johnson. That was very, very clever. He caught, as he was falling, he seen Jones out the corner of his eye, popped it over enough, and the defenders were caught a bit short. And Jones, well, we've shown he's been a very, very good kicker of the footy all day.
Yeah, he kicked one from almost the same spot earlier in the game, and I'd say the second quarter, obviously, and he'll go back and no doubt slot this from about 30.
This turned into a very big victory by the Tigers.
They've blown it. Late in the second quarter, you could see it was going to happen, and it's happened. So he goes back, puts it over the goal umpire's head, and they move to 17-12, 104. They lead Carey Park 6-5-41. They've got no answers to this onslaught. And, South are going to kick 20 the way they're going. They're going to probably kick 20, 22 goals.
Looks like Crane's off for it to the Harvey Norman bench to have a well-earned rest. So does Pedley. And Wright and Jack Gallagher will come back onto the ground for the Tigers.
So it's been a fairly handy afternoon. It's a good scoreline.
Actually, it hasn't been a bad game of footy to watch, though, hasn't it?
I say, you wouldn't think it was such a big discrepancy in the scoreline. I mean, Carey Park haven't been totally...
They haven't been terrible, have they?
No, not like they can't get their hands on the ball. It's just been probably pressure at different times when they've gone forward to keep it in and give himself a chance to hit the scoreboard. I mean, Zahaf's tried hard. Again, he wins a knock, but Bourne's just picked that up. He's gone towards Gallagher. He's marked at half forward. He wheels and goes. What's he going to do? He goes over the top. Johnson comes out. He can't take the mark in front of Brown, but he runs over this. Going to check side this again, Craney. And what do you know? Oh, hit the post. Hit the post. He was going for 7. And it's Gray's inside padding of the post for a behind. 17-13, 115, plays 6-5-51. Horsey comes down towards Milham. He's taken a good mark above his head in front of us. He just checks side inside. Oh, he telegraphed that towards Bell, and Waldrop's been good enough to come over the top. On his left boot, he's got Pickett with a paddock in front of him. He comes inside. Oh, cheeky handball over the top. Rolls in front of Chitty. He tries to beat a tackle. You're lucky. Horsey, he goes towards Bell. He goes wide to Rory O'Brien. He's taken high. Play on's a call. And he's going to be penalised for dropping the ball.
They are relentless, the Tigers, aren't they?
That was a good tackle, but the first kick was high. He's 3 foot nothing, and he's taken above his shoulders. It's got to be a high free kick. Anyway, play on. He goes towards Cormac deep in the forward pocket. He takes a mark in front of his opponent in Harrop. He's going to go back from 35, 40 metres out on a very acute angle. It'll take a very good kick because he's also kicking into the teeth of the breeze. And Rory's still not happy. He's still trying to tell the umpire that he was wrong.
I've been around for a long time, umpire.
Yeah, he's now doing the sign language as well.
Anyone could do this. It's Cormac, though.
In he comes. Just wills to get the yards. Just up and under. That has pulled up very short. But Jones just walked onto that, taken an uncontested mark, and it's almost laughable.
Well, the thing is, the ball's been pulling up all day in that area, and all the Carey Park defenders went and stood on the goal line, whereas Jones just stood in front.
As we were watching, he led 3 blokes and he didn't run at it. He just walked. And the 3 defenders were behind him. It was like, follow me, and we're just going to go for a walk down the path. And now he's kicking from 16, 17 metres out.
For number 4 for the afternoon.
Fairly good afternoon. He kicks and
it's
a goal, a good goal,
yes.
and reward for effort because, like I said, he just followed the flight of the footy and no one else was smart enough to do it.
Well, that's right, and that ball did pull up pretty dramatically. And,
Jace will tell you he can kick 60, but if you show him that kick, he can only kick 23.
As Jones comes to the hub, he normally needs to change bench, kick a goal and come off. And who's that? Kosiska will come back on.
Yep, onto the wing. So we tick down to the 11-minute mark, so still a long afternoon, Croney. And just watching it's getting darker at 4:58, so we'll be...
Sunday afternoon.
Do we get overtime? We'll just
Do we
pack up
get
and
any
go
time?
home. We'll send the scores through later. Back in the middle of the ground, Zahaf and Wright. Zahaf again. Bourne picks up for another possession. Smothered off the boot. Out it goes. Who's going to win the race the ball? Bourne, Hughes. Number of players slide to the ground. Up it goes. O'Brien, he's low. He's trying to win back that free kick from before. The umpire's going to say, give it here, and I'll throw it up on the wing position. Still boys niggling. Too late for that, boys. Should have done that a bit earlier, and Carey Park get a...
I think there was plenty niggle early.
Free kick. Play on's the call. Goes towards... who's that? Bell, was it? Over his head. Picked up by South Bunbury. They come back inside towards Waldrott. He stands underneath and takes a real good mark in front of Delello. He had the size over him. He switches the play. A real good kick out towards Versace. Didn't matter that he dropped the mark because he's got a paddock in front of him. Harrott chases hard. Kicks down the line. Hutchins in front. He keeps his feet. Gets a push. He slips the ground. Otherwise he would have been off. But the free kick comes back. He's on this wing position in front of us. He wheels and goes long. The horrible looking kick. Who's going to stand underneath it? Good effort by young Baker, who's gone forward. No one can pick up a ball. Young Houlihan, he handballs to Jackson Bell. He deserves a goal for his hard work today, but he just can't pick that one off. He sprays to the left hand side from about 25 metres out.
Jackson Bell, look, he's been one of the best today, and as always, he just works. His work rate is huge and throws his body into the contest.
South move it quickly. Galloway on that far side in front of the scoreboard. He's taken an uncontested mark. Looks down. What's he got? On the left boot. Comes inside. Oh, good mark there by Wright, I think it was.
It's been a long game of footy.
It certainly has. I keep thinking they're playing time on all the time. Every time I look at that monitor, it says the clock's going backwards.
That first quarter went forever, didn't it?
So out in that far wing, a number of players can't pick it up. Now Axel for Carey Park. Onto the right boot, goes down the line. In front of Milham, I think it is, but the ball Hughes. The ball beats him out of bounds, and the umpire says, I'll throw it in. Just forward of the wing position for Carey Park has taken the long way around on that dead side. So a few boys starting to haunch over. So they'll be looking forward to the siren.
Yeah, look, even though it's been a one-sided, it's been a pretty physical game. So there would be some tired bodies out there.
Yep. So Zahaf, he just hits that down the line. No one can pick it up. A number of players. South Bunbury handball that back out. Rory O'Brien, he gets in front of Bourne. Picked up, I think it's Tetlow there. He just drives that from the scoreboard into the teeth of goal, and it's faded to the left, and another behind. They move to 6-7, 43, trailing 18-13, 1-2-1.
It's on the southwest side, Zuzu scoreboard, John.
Yep. It's been ticking over. 31 shots to 13. That tells a story in itself.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is there. Yeah, the Tigers have been very impressive again this afternoon. And we thought last week they were a little bit slow to get going, but right from the first bounce this week they were onto it. They had pressure everywhere. Their skill level is very, very good. And as I said, they've got so many ball winners around the ground. Yeah,
they've just run harder, spread, and worked. They've worked on the spread, and the opposition haven't been able to go with them.
You go down that list, and there's not too many that haven't had a very good game.
No, they've all had a bit of the ball. Goyder goes far and wide out of that far wing. That's a real good mark there from Zahaf. Biggest bloke in the pack, put the jukes up, and he's taken a good mark. So he drives the ball back in, says, let's take two. Versace's in the box seat here. He spoils. Did he mark it? Almost. It did come off the Carey Park player in front.
No, Adam Hunter says no.
No, Goyder squeezes that out towards Waldrop. Play on's the call now. South player goes to ground, picked up there. I think that was Zahaf who picked that up again. Squeezed it towards his teammate. Now South have the numbers. Goyder sweeps the ball inside. Who's running? Drives that, I think it was right, drives that ball towards Cormac. He's going to have a foot race with Horsey. This will be interesting. Cormac swings back inside. He's got Bain loose. He's now got Bourne. He takes on an opponent. He has a bounce. On that far wing, he has a second bounce. He just goes inside. He's going to have a third bounce. No, he's got Chitty at centre half forward. Over the top, he's got Kay Ziska. What happened there? The umpire said play on. Ziska's going to take a mark about 20 metres clear of everyone else. Too far out to score one.
He's going to need another lead in here somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to need that or a cannon to fire it out of, because I don't think he's got any hope in hell of making a distance. But anyway.
Likes his chances.
You don't ever go, you never know, do you? So in he comes. He'll kick from about 48 metres out. Will the ball carry? He unloads. Not a bad kick, Croney. Tell you what. He's on a real, but on the goal line lane. He's on a Jackie Chan. He couldn't mark it, but he socketed it out of the air and straight over the goal umpire's head it went. They move to 19-13, 127. They lead 6-7, 43. And if you don't get it the first time, try again, and eventually you make it happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lane would be loving league footy at the moment, isn't he? He's really having a bit of a field day. And the beauty of that was he kept his eye on the footy.
Yeah,
Went for the mark, dropped the mark, but as he was coming down, kept his eye on the footy, knew exactly where it was, put his boot to it, and a goal on the board.
But he's one of them guys, he doesn't get a lot of the ball. And like I said, he stays, he seems to know where the ball is going to fall, and he obviously keeps his eye on the ball, because watching him the other week, he looked uncoordinated, but he always got his hands on the ball. He didn't need a lot of steps to kick it well. He hits the goals even there, like that ball, everyone would have give up, but he's like, no, it's still alive, I'm going to do something with it. So back in the middle they go. Kerry Parks through Milham, couldn't get the ball out, now loose ball. Lawrence tries to toe poke it, picked up there by Jones. He screws that ball aiming to the top of the goal square. Versace works his opponent under the ball, takes an easy chest mark in the end.
Very solid, reliable defender, isn't he, Versace?
So what's he going to do? He's going to handball to Goyder. So he sweeps around the back. He just chips it over the top there. Can't see who that player is. Is it Gallagher?
No, it's very, very dull out there.
It's getting gloomy now, Croney. Even the binoculars wouldn't help me, I don't think. Down to Nordell on that far wing.
Might be just why we got the monitor in front of us.
Yeah, even that's gloomy. Play-ons, he's been called to go now. He takes a couple of steps down the line, kicks towards his teammate in Cormac, and the ball beats him over the line out of bounds. We'll have a throw in forward of the centre wing for South Bunbury on that defensive side. I think you can hear the crowd through these headsets behind us now. I think they've had seen enough to know.
Inside.
Yep, the frothy time. Boundary throw in. Right, and Zahaf. Over the back it goes. Rory O'Brien throws the boot into it. It rolls forward. Jackson Bell, he can't take it. Goyder puts the fist into it. Who runs onto a loose ball? DeLello, he's tried hard. No, it was Tetlow. He gets a handball forward. Can't see who that was. Lanigan to Anson. He doesn't take the footy with him. Run on to the ball. Loose ball by Baskerville. Who drives the ball forward underneath it. Good match up there in Orsi and Cormac. First one wins a race back to the ball. Cormac's the recipient of a good handball inside. He chips inside to Chitty. Takes the mark on the top of the D. What's he going to do? He's got Bain on his top side. I don't think the ball will make it that far. He goes towards... who we got here? It's young Cisco. The ball's running away from him. He now picks it up. He looks what he's got options inside. He goes in the Bain direction. He takes a chest mark. Hudson has slipped over and Bain's marked about 48 metres out on this top side. So be interesting to see if he had the leg. Cisco made the distance from, or almost made the distance from the same spot. So you'd think Bain would have a bit more power in the leg.
Where's young Lane sitting on the goal line again?
Yeah, he's waiting for a cheeky one.
It's interesting that Johnson pulls out of those contests.
Yeah, take the big defender out of there as well. So Bain, in he comes.
The big defender's decided he needs to go back in.
Yeah, so not a bad kick. He's put it up and under, and it's just going to drift across to the left, is it? Yep. And she's feinted away to the left-hand side for another behind. 19-14, 128, 6-5, 6-7, 43. As we tick down to the 19 and a bit
Turn
minutes.
that air conditioner off now if you like, John.
Better off sitting in front of Dean's van again. We can put the heaters on. On the far side, Milham picks it up. He handballs to Axel. He runs into a brick wall. He's taken the ground. He's got a free kick for a high tackle, says the umpire, and he'll relieve the pressure for the Panthers and clear the defence. He kicks down that far wing as a helicopter. Horsman comes out. He can't take it. Bell knocks the ball forward. He's got his teammate there in O'Brien. He scoops up a quick one to Tetlow. He's had a bounce. Drives that ball. He's got a loose over the back in Jones, the big ruckman. He's gone down forward. He's dropped what he should have taken. He's first back to it. He's got some assistance there. He's run onto a loose ball. Goes one way or the other. He's got a teammate in Baker. The kick's not up to it. South Bunbury soccer the ball forward, picked up there by, geez, number of players. I can't see that far, Carey.
Tell you what,
it's getting gloomy. Is it raining? It looks like it is.
Yeah, there's going to be a rainstorm coming.
It is raining now. They'll be real happy with about 5 minutes to go. They've evaded all day. On that far wing now, South Bunbury players through, oh no, he's driven to the ground. Gallagher, play on's the call. The South have got the advantage. Nordell runs on a loose ball. He's got yards. He's inside one way, inside the other. He gives a handball to a teammate. Back inside they go. Right. He goes back towards Nordell. He's got Cormac standing at centre half forward with a hand up. Who's going to run onto this wall drop? He just socking. No one wants to bend over. A number of players. Now the handball comes towards Cormac. He's been standing there for 5 minutes saying, give it here. The ball goes low. What the umpire pay? Was it below the shins? Yeah.
And there is a big squall just coming through now. Cormac was sitting there for ages, wasn't he?
He should go off. He's getting cramped. You don't want to do any more damage. That he's got through the game very well. Lanigan drops what he should have taken. Siska, the handball over the top. Lanigan slaps it towards Hutchins. He takes off. He's ragged old. Gets a high tackle. No, don't worry about it now, boys. The game's over. There. Get on with the play.
Cormac coming off to the Harvey Norman interchange bench.
Yeah, O'Brien picks up the ball to advantage. Plays on. South pick up a ball. Basketball's just throwing that, and the umpire's called a free kick, has he? First time, no, it was Galloway. He's lucky the umpire didn't see the throw to start with. Play on's the call now. A runner from behind drives that ball to the middle of the ground. Bourne's got a paddock if he bounces for him. It does. He goes back inside. Got the run there of Wright, isn't it? He gets through a tackle. Runs to half forward, kicks the ball over the top and sliding at the back is Lane. Takes a good
becoming a bit of a cult hero, isn't he, young Lane?
Yeah. He's swinging around, pinching a few yards. The umpire says, straighten yourself up. He's going to kick from probably 47 or 8 metres out, and the game he's had, you'd say you'd just about nail this, Crony.
Yeah, heading for their 20th goal for the afternoon, the Tigers.
In he comes, a deliberate approach. Not with that. Put the mocker on him. He's going to get Bourne on a chest. He's got a chitty. No, it just carried and it's gone out of bounds.
The conditions have deteriorated.
They certainly have.
Quite a bit. That squally wind.
We're probably lucky, or the players are lucky. It was windy before, but at the moment it's just going round and round like you're inside a washing machine. So Carey Park tried to clear. Goyder picks up a loot. No, he doesn't. It's rolled through his legs. It's gone out of bounds on that far side. So I think the players will be counting down like we are, Craney. We're at 22 and a half minutes. And let's make it a 23-minute quarter and get out of here. So it's 5:10 in the afternoon. Lovely Sunday afternoon at Hands Oval it's been. An entertaining game of football.
Lights are taking full effect. That's how dark it is.
They certainly have. Oh, someone's taken high out there. Ooh. Carey South Bunbury player. I give up on looking that far. I think it was it wasn't Nordell, but he's kicked the ball on that far side. He's taken a mark where the.
He's had a good afternoon, Richie Bourne.
He certainly has. He goes back to where the kick come from.
There's a heap of Tigers that'll actually join him. A lot of Tigers had a very good afternoon.
Yeah, they certainly have. So Jones has led up. So they just haven't kicked the kick now.
Probably trying to get it out of that corner with this wind.
Oh, that was a knee in the side of the hip that you wouldn't want in the latter stages of a game of footy. You've got through unscathed all day. So Jones, he brings the ball back inside, but Big Zahaf's going to put the big mid out, brings the ball to ground. Carey Park, number of players just looked at each other. No one want to take ownership there. Hughes throws it towards Hutchins. He slides on the ground. Now Jackson Bell picks it up. He whacks it onto the boot, goes out towards the scoreboard flank. Lanigan just nudges Horsman under the footy. Oh, the umpire, yeah. That was fair enough. There's a bit more than a nudge. And Benny Horsman is going to take the free kick.
Tell you what, he has had a terrific day, Ben Horsman.
Yeah, he's played quite well. So he goes back to his teammate. They're just chipping around. They're going to bring it out this other side now. No, he doesn't. He goes back the other way in Sawyer. What's he got? Goyder in front of the scoreboard.
But like I say, you can make a case for quite a few of them for the best on ground, WA Carpet Supermarket best on ground, because there's a lot of names that could go up for grabs.
They've all had a bit of the action, so Bain on that far side.
That's not your teeth chattering.
Yeah, just about is, mate. I'd say something else, but it might not go across too well. Anyway, Blake Pickett's got the mark on that far centre wing. They just haven't kicked the kick here. It's no urgency. They've shut up shop. And they're going back to Goyder. He's picked about 5 or 6 touches in the last 2.5 minutes. He wheels around, goes back out wide there to Horsman.
The new dad too.
Yeah.
He was saying he's had a bit of a lack of sleep in the last couple of days.
Hasn't hurt him today, that's for sure. He's played quite well.
Yeah, he has.
So that was a lackadaisical kick there from Chitty. He put his teammate there in young basketball under all sorts of pressure. Carey Park have jumped in on the pill. What's the umpire going to do? We'll throw it up in almost in the middle of the ground. 128 plays 48 as we tick down to the 25 and a bit minutes gone. So can South hit 20? Can Carey Park get a late one? Jones on the right boot for the Panthers, drives that to they've all gone to ground, and Goyder's just stood in the middle, and he's taken the easiest of chest marks. He goes out wide.
Takes a lot of marks in a game, doesn't he, Goyder?
He does.
He really marshals that defence of the Tigers. They missed him last week.
Yep. Yeah, he tries to zone off, he does, and if you don't play through his man to try and make him accountable, then he's going to get a lot more footy than your half forward's going to get for you. So
he's a real link man too with the Tigers.
Yep. Up they go towards half forward. Everyone's going up and under, and a good mark taken out there by Axel, I think it is. That was quite a good mark because he had players jumping all over him, and he stood tall. Now he goes back down that wing. I said it's I would say boring, but it's just kick to kick, stop, start, stop, start.
It's pretty hard to call, isn't it?
It's hard to get enthused now, Grady, regardless of the score. We just want this siren to sound. I think a lot of people here do too. There we go. We willed it on.
You just called it, John.
There we go.
At the end of the day.
19-14, 128 South Bunbury run out. Comprehensive winners against Carey Park, 6-7-43. And that's one done and dusted, and get it over and done with, Crony.
That is on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We're going to be back after the break to deliver some awards. level. And it's done and dusted here thanks to KFC and our great mates at Dale Alcock Homes Southwest. South Bunbury run out very easy winners, 19 goals 14 to 6 goals 7, and they retain, I don't know whether they retain or they've just got the Retrovision Cup that's just been awarded to the Tigers. Johnny, a very impressive win by the Tigers, wasn't it? They sort of were challenged a little bit as they were early, and then they just, as they do, just pile up and go.
Yeah, pretty much from halfway through the second quarter, it was one-way traffic. You could see the momentum building in the sort of middle part of that second quarter, and the latter part of the second quarter, it was going to bust. It probably didn't completely bust on the scoreboard, but you could see the momentum was all there. Carey Park tried in vain in that early part of the third quarter. They just... sometimes when you start, like you say, you start on the back foot, it's very hard to get back onto the front foot and start rolling, and they just really were never in it at any stage in that second half. The damage was done, and it was
Let's go through the peak performance,
win.
Johnny, by City and Regional Fuels. The peak performance, that's just the Tigers, I reckon. They just keep on keeping on. As soon as sides challenge them, they just lift to a whole new level. And I think we can give the peak performance on. The big moments, Feed Your Family with Buckingham, the Butchers, good sausages down there. The big moment in the game?
I think just the attitude at the start of the game. They come out of the blocks and they just kept going. They set the trend of the game as far as run and get that ball forward. Them conditions, as we said early on, it was going to be tricky, and who was going to adapt the quickest, but they come out of the blocks and they just kept going. Rising
Star, Hemp Brothers, Western Australia's most trusted hemp-based pros. There was a lot of good young players out there this afternoon.
Yeah, there was. As I said, both sides had a number of young guys out there, and like you said, you mentioned a couple of times through the call, the two ruckmen. And I think, you probably, without splitting them, you give both of them a big pat on the back. I think...
I totally agree with you there. Let's give both of them the Rising Stars, because they are two very young ruckmen in a very good competition. I don't think I've ever, as I said it a number of times, seen two younger ruckmen running around there. So I think the Rising Star for the Hemp Brothers Western Australia will give to them. The coaching move of the day, well, I don't think there was too many that anyone could do, because South just had it on.
I think early on Carey Park should have adjusted something on Bourne. Maybe try and stop. He was very damaging early, but they let it roll. And other than that, I mean, you said you can't make 5 or 6 moves. You just got to back yourself in. But it's probably more at times they were asleep more than didn't matter what Frank was going to do.
Thanks to the Bank of Queensland for that. The mark of the day, CPR Outdoor Centre for sheds, patios and decks. Wasn't too many real high flyers. There was a lot of tries. Blake Pickett took a very good one. Brady Lanigan, I suppose it's between those two. Cam Baker took a good one. Between those three, I reckon, Baker, Lanigan or Pickett.
I like young Bakers. I think it was a pretty good mark. It wasn't a good day for it, but I probably thought his was probably as good as anyone's.
And the goal of the day for Western All-Pair Services, Richie Bourne would take a bit of beating on that one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then Jones was a very good one down the other end there as well. A lot of good ones. Kay Walritz was a good one.
Yeah, young Lane, that Jackie Chan goal at the end.
That's right.
And also Blaine Johnson's, he had check side. He had a few cracks at it, but any one of them, I think you throw a dart at that 5 or 6, and if you hit wherever you hit, you wouldn't be wrong.
Oh, I think we'll give it to Richie Bourne today. And the tackle of the game for Bunbury Mara Services, I think Blake Pickett, that first one, he set the standard all day with his tackling.
He had a pretty good game.
He was ferocious, and just out in front of us in the opening quarter, he absolutely locked up a player. So for the tackle of the game, thanks to Bunbury Mower Services, we'll give that to Blake Pickett. The WA Carpet Superperformance, WA Carpet Supermarket, best on ground. Well, this, Don, could go to just about a lot of South Bunbury players.
I'll take the voting out of your hands, Croney, because I know what it's like. And I think your young bloke today, his game was very good. I know he spent half the last quarter off the ground, but his work around the middle, around the contest, his spread, it was probably one of his better games this year. I said, I haven't seen him play a lot. You can be the judge of that. But I think today he really, I know last week in the wet, he kept him in the game. And today I thought he got him going, and right up till the halfway through the quarter when he come off. I think he was probably the best player on the ground.
I think what he is very good at is that one grab footy. We talk about how that just sets up the rest of the play, doesn't it? If you can get hands on and you know your partner in crime is just going to get it out straight away, it sets up a lot of the ball.
Yeah, especially when you got guys like Cormac and that on the outside who can, they know they played a lot of footy together, so they know, well, he's going to go, he's going to take it clean, I'm going to get there because he knows I should be there, and it just speeds up the play. It's not through leg speed, it's ball movement, it's confidence in one another, and the opposition got no hope of stopping it.
Big mention to Blaine Johnson, 6 goals for that. In fact, the goal scorers for this afternoon, Blaine Johnson for 6 for South, Richie Bourne had 4, Braden Jones, actually, he had a pretty good afternoon. He had 4 as well. Singles to Crane, Chitty, Waldrot, and for the Panthers, we had 2 to Calvin Lawrence, 1 to Rory O'Brien, 2 to Jaden Collard, 1 to Lanigan, and they've just got outplayed this afternoon. The Tigers just kept on rolling on, John.
Yeah, it was a good performance. So, as I said, it's a long season. They're going to have to keep improving because I think there's a side down south that are going to come along and nip a few sides on the butt. And if you're not ready for them, they might just bite a bit harder than you think.
That's interesting, isn't it? AMR sort of they've gone onto the radar a little bit, but they're building, aren't they? And you said they added Brett Latch to their side the other day. Now Brett Latch, former Perth footballer, played a little bit at South Bunbury, a very, very good centre back. Well,
their top end of their list is very strong, and they're just adding a little bit.
Well, the earlier results today, and the Colts, Carey Park 11-10-66, South Bunbury 2-3-15. In the reserves, 3-8 to 5-6 Carey Park's way. And in the league, and the women's, it was all South Bunbury. In the league, it was all the Tigers. Well, John, it has been an interesting day to say the least. We're sitting in the grandstands. The game finished rather late. The lights have gone off, and I can tell you it's pretty dark. Thank you very much for your company on SEN Spirit, and we'll see you next week.